right, Mike Missanelli Show is on the air, and we got some Phillies issues to talk about, folks. We got to dig deeply into this because I got to find out what this team really is, and I need to find it out from the people that are following this team. We've added another layer of woe and worry yesterday with Jesus Luzardo. So let's look at what the problems are right now. Number one, the bullpen is still a problem. Number two, the offense is suddenly a problem. Number three, Luzardo is a problem. He has given up. This is hard to believe. I mean, this is almost like a total meltdown. You don't have numbers like this unless you're melting down in some form. 20 runs in the last 5 2/3 innings. His ERA has jumped from 2.15 to 4.46. There is something wrong. Now, people are saying, well, the velocity looks the same. Well, if his velocity looks the same, it could be only two things then. His command stinks. They're getting to him early because they realize he wants to throw first pitch strikes. Or he's tipping his pitches. And somebody's figured out what's coming. But this is a major problem now. He has gone over the innings that he pitched last year. That should not affect him. I mean, he's bred as a starter. He's made a recovery from injury. He's pitched enough in spring training and whatever. He's stretched out fine. I don't know what the problem is. But if this continues, where are the Phillies in their rotation? Now, we're talking about when playoff time comes, when you only need 4 starters, who would be the starter that could help in the pen? And the consensus is Ranger Suarez. If this continues, is the consensus have to be Luzardo now? Will he be the the guy left out of the rotation and have to work his way through the bullpen? I don't know. The bullpen, despite the addition of Weston Wilson, still has the problems. So I don't know, man. Their record against teams 500 or better is below 500. It's 16-18. Now, we can pretend all we want that they're a good team. I still think they're a good team. When you look at them on paper, they seem to be a good team. But paper doesn't tell the tale. When you're losing, when you're only 16-18 against teams 500 or better, you're not competing against the better teams. Now, that team they played last night, they're not a bad squad. I get it. But Chris Bassitt cuffed this offense. I mean, he throws slop. I can't stand watching that guy. But on the other side, the pitcher didn't get the job done for the Phillies. I really don't know what it means. Should we press the panic button right now? It's June 6th. Ray Dunn is with us today. Ray, what do you think?
It's not a panic button per se, but I have to say, for as long as I've looked at this team as World Series contender, World Series contender, World Series contender, I've dropped them down a peg at this point. They're a playoff team. They're a playoff team that has serious holes that needs fixing. They're a good team that we all want to pretend is a great team right now, but they're really just a good team. That's all they are at this point. They've shown you the same obvious flaws that got them eliminated in the postseason a year ago. And that, to me, was something that we wanted to see addressed in the offseason. That was not. And now we have to wait and hope that they can address every single one of those holes by July. And the one offseason acquisition that we all felt very good about, Jesus Luzardo, right now, you just hope and pray that he is tipping pitches. And that's all that this is. And not that there is a book out on him, that they have figured out what made him so dominant over his first 11 starts and has made him now historically bad over the last 2 starts. I mean, we're bringing up names from 1922 to compare his terribleness to.
This historically bad thing is bothersome. It's one thing having a couple of bad starts in a row and losing a couple games. But when you're getting racked like this, this is not good. And, I waited for – I kind of tried to write off that first start, and now he delivers another one like this, and he's out there to die, throwing pitches and getting raked, and it's embarrassing, frankly. And now I'm looking at their offense, and I'm going, okay, some people have tried to tell me they're not a good offense. I look at their lineup, and it should be a good offense, but Harper strikes out 3 times yesterday. He's down to 258. Stott has hit a wall. 196, 250, 268 slash line since the start of May. 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. He's down to 244 as the leadoff hitter. Schwarber, all right, He's holding his own at 260. Alec Boehm, 274, but a very paltry 274 with not a lot of power numbers. Castellanos. Everybody likes Castellanos. He's got 67 hits this year, and 46 of them are singles. And his OPS is 328. That's not exactly lighting it up. Kepler's just been a disaster at the plate. He's now down to 214 with 304 OPS, slugging 374. Castellanos is slugging 426. Marsh, 215. Of course, they had to play Marsh on last night because of JT's testicles. 132 for Marsh. I mean, really, this is not good. I don't feel very optimistic today, and I wonder if people are out there feeling the same way as I am. There's some kind of pall over this team now, losing this many games.
There is. And it's, again, you go through the numbers right there. We've talked about it in this show a number of times, the power from the right side that's just not there. You went through Castellanos right there. You went through JT, through Boehm. Like, those three guys have to give you something from the right side you haven't yet seen. Turner, they decided, hey, man, we want you to hit 300. We want your on base to be at the top of the lineup, that 370, that 360 type guy at the top of our lineup. Sacrifice some of your power for that. Yet he's been the most powerful guy from the right side of the plate. That's a problem for your lineup. The fact that left field right now is Max Kepler producing the way he's producing in, again, a platoon, which is a guy that you pay that much money to be a platoon guy struggling in his own platoon role right now, and Weston Wilson, who this show is officially completely out on at this point. That's an issue. Center field. We know what center field is.
You need him for mop-up duty, though.
He's now the new...
The fact that he's pitched twice already is a disgrace.
Twice in 1 week.
Yeah,
1 week, Mike.
It's embarrassing to a team that is supposed to be a contender that you have to send him out in the 8th inning.
It's terrible. It's twice. He's pitched 3 innings.
First of all, that should never happen in baseball. I hate when it happens. But now he's the 25th man, and that's what that's the only value they can get out of him, to throw mop-up slop.
Weston Wilson has thrown 2 2/3 less innings than Jesus Luzardo over the last week. He's closing in on Luzardo's number. If they have another bad game this weekend in Pittsburgh, him and Luzardo might have the same number of innings pitched over a 10-day span.
It's ridiculous. They're just not getting clutch hits. They're not fostering big innings. They're in trouble right now, man. I mean, they're down 8-0 quickly in this game. 8-0 again quickly in this game.
Oh, it was let me see if I can find something else in my afternoon to do type of game. Because you looked at the way they were going after Bassett, you were like, I can't see this team starting to fire up this offense, get 8 runs on the board, and you're sitting there wondering, what's wrong with Luzardo?
Good Lord, with the junk that he throws. I can't stand to watch guys like that. Just can't stand it.
7 innings, Mike.
All right, folks, listen. This is your squad. Right now, what is this team to you? What is this team really? We've been conditioned to think this whole time that baseball season has started that this team is a contending team. And now you see what they are. They can't hit. Their bullpen is shaky. One of their key left-handers, who a lot of people say, he's the second best pitcher in their rotation, has melted down. And they can't beat good teams. What does it mean? 610-632-0975. We got to have a big Phillies discussion today. We'll get to some other thoughts as well, but this is the dominant conversation today. What are your Phillies right now? We're going to have Todd Zalecki on the show. He covers the Phillies for MLB.com, so he'll give us his interpretation of what's going on. And, of course, last night in the NBA, I tell you what, it's hard to bet against the Pacers anymore. You look at the teams, you go, okay, that Pacers team's finally overmatched OKC and the way they play defense. And yesterday, they get another game-winning shot from Tyrese Halliburton and take a 1-0 lead in the series. I don't know, man. Can the Indiana Pacers win the NBA championship? We'll have some highlights from that game and then game winner. That's coming up. Mike Missanelli Show, 610-632-0975. Hit us up on the text board, and we got some calls already that want to unload on your fighting Phils, and we're back after this.
We want to hear from you, so text us at 610.
10:15. It's Mike Missanelli show. Listen, this is gonna. I would expect a lot of phone calls today because I want to know how the people out there feel about this team right now. We can con ourselves into saying they're going to be okay. They're going to be okay. But last night, with Luzardo's outing, was a kick in the rear end for me. I can't imagine a good pitcher being bad enough to give up 20 runs in his last 5 2/3 innings. I just don't understand it. There's something wrong there. He's too good of a pitcher for that. So there's got to be something wrong. And that added another woe to my list because I'm already obsessed with the bullpen and now the lack of offense. They don't score enough. Even though their run output seems to be like decent in the league. It's like 4.6. But they have not broken loose. They haven't put big numbers on the board. And I'm tired of seeing singles from guys. Like, it's funny. We have this notion. Well, when those guys hit the ball the other way, they hit the ball the other way for singles. Like sometimes you got to sit in there and drive it to left center. Like Bowman Castellanos, they're hell bent to hit the ball the other way, and I think they're cheating themselves a little bit.
One of them's got to hit it over the fence. One of them just has to kind of, I hate to use the phrase here, but kind of man up and just put one over the fence every once in a while. It's ridiculous.
I agree.
Corner outfielder and a corner infielder. You're supposed to get some power. Those are two positions that are locked in. They're not platoon guys. They are everyday players. One of them has to drive the baseball and be a 20-home run guy.
I hear you. But they're so obsessed. Hit the ball the other way. Hit the ball the other way. Use the whole field. All right. Use the whole field's fine. But somewhere along the line, you got to get some power numbers in there if this team is going to win. So I want to know from the callers, people today, what is this team really in your mind? What's the text board saying, first of all, Ray?
Yeah, we got an unnamed texter here from Jersey. Are we surprised? All the worries prior to the season are there. I do worry about the offense the most. They have 4 big nothings in the lineup. Bohm stinks. He just slapped singles. Kepler stinks. Center field position stinks with Marsh and Johan. And the catcher position with JT and Marchand give you almost nothing.
He's not wrong. I don't know what to say at this point. I'm still trying to get over the shock of Luzardo and the bullpen, and now the offense is become a genuine concern. They're not a contending team right now. They're just not. You want to think that their starting pitching can hold up, but I don't see them as a contender right now. Something needs to change. When you can't beat teams 500 or better consistently, there's something wrong. All right, let's go to our leadoff hitter. It's Greg from Bethlehem. Greg, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Greg?
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Ray, I hope that's your permanent seat, but, the Phillies have become a big question mark in my mind. I was feeling pretty good. Luzardo in the off-season or in the preseason, early season, people were talking about him being a Cy Young candidate and the best acquisition in the off-season and, giving him all kinds of flowers. And then he throws 2 clunkers. And Ray kind of stole my thunder a little bit. When you see somebody who is pitching well, and maybe that was just competition, I don't know yet. Or we don't know yet, but, for him to fall off the cliff like that, it raised the question in my mind, was he tipping his pitches to have things change so dramatically? I mean, last night or yesterday afternoon, they were hitting everything hard, like they knew what was coming.
I don't know if he's tipping his pitches. So, they'll go over video to see if he's doing that. But I think that he has been around the plate for the early part of this year. So he's throwing strikes early. He's throwing hard strikes early. He's not. Mm-hmm. They're not changing speeds. Like right now, I'd be starting him off with breaking stuff that's a little slower than what he's used to throwing to see if he can get those guys off stride. But they got to go back to the lab with this guy. This is where a pitching coach comes in, looks at video, and says, "What are you doing here?"
Yeah, I mean, he was hanging stuff in the middle of the plate yesterday. Well, I mean, a lot of them were fastballs right down the middle. And, good hitters. even mediocre hitters aren't going to miss them.
No, his command has been off, and I don't know if it's because his workload is past what he pitched last year, and he doesn't seem to be injured because his velocity is there. But there's also a mental side of that. When you can't locate, when you don't have your command, your release point is a little off.
Yeah, he just is a dramatic change. That's all.
I hear you, Greg. Are you worried? What's your level of worry, Greg?
Well, it's pretty high right now. I mean, they could obviously turn it around, but the offense is pitiful.
They're not a viable playoff team right now. I mean, they may get in. They're not a viable playoff team right now when you look at it. When you look at the weaknesses that are holding them back, and I add Luzardo to it now, because now what do? What's your rotation now as you go into the playoffs? Let's go to Pitty in Harrisburg. What's up, Pitty? You're on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Yo, Mike.
Yo, Pitty.
Yo, what up? Yeah, man, I'm driving out here to Pittsburgh to the game, man. I'm a little disappointed, man. We've got to smack these boys around a little bit.
Yeah, well, Pittsburgh comes just at the right time, I assume. But they're pitching a bullpen game tonight. And Joe Ross starting tonight.
Yeah, I'm getting out there, man. We're gonna go out some bars. Hopefully, be blacked out by the time we gotta watch Joe Ross give up 4 in the first inning.
Hey, Pitty, do you have tickets now? Because you can get really cheap tickets at that stadium tonight.
Well, yeah, we was thinking about it, but I ain't want to go see that, man. We're just gonna go tomorrow and.
You're not gonna go to the game tonight.
That's it.
Okay.
Nah, just tomorrow, bro. We're gonna get out there and drink up in the city a little bit.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, like, the problem with the offense is, I don't know if you're going to agree with this, but, man, the Phillies just ain't got enough brothers on the team, man. There's a couple guys I want to trade for. One's O'Neal Cruz on the Pirates, and the other's Randy Rosarena. What do y'all think about that?
Yeah, Randy Rosarena, I don't know. I haven't seen his numbers lately. O'Neal Cruz.
Hey, he got swag, though, man.
Well, you're not going to get O'Neal Cruz. He's a star in the league, man. They're not going to trade you him. That costs you a ton.
What do y'all think? Well, why don't we move Bohm, Marsh, and Prospect, and maybe the Abel kid?
Bohm, Marsh, and prospects for O'Neal Cruz.
And Mick Abel.
Yeah, listen, I love O'Neal Cruz. The Pirates are probably going to get a monster haul for him. And I don't think the Phillies can give him
Why not us, though? Why not us? That's what we need in the line.
No, I get it, but what I'm saying, that the guys you're offering probably are not enough to get him.
Well, what y'all think about Randy Rosarena?
I don't know about Randy Rosarena. I got to check his numbers. All right, man. Listen, you have fun.
Oh, Mike.
What? Yes. What?
What y'all think about Randy Rosarena?
I just got done telling you. I'm not so sure about Randy Rosarena. What's he doing this year?
Man, I don't know. He got
his numbers.
Get up there.
He's hitting 213. He's hitting 213. Forget swag. He's hitting 213 this year. Come on, man. Pitty, you got to check his numbers before you talk to me about Randy Rosarena. 213. Come on, man.
Tequila Cowboy, by the way, if you're looking for a place to get a drink down the street from the ballpark.
Oh, really? In Pittsburgh?
Yeah, good story from there last year when I went.
All right, 610-632-0975. Found Randy Rosarena, not a brother. Randy Rosarena, a Cuban. O'Neal Cruz, I don't even think. What's O'Neal Cruz?
Dominican.
He's Dominican. All right. 610-632-0975. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Phillies lose the series. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies lost 9-1 to the Blue Jays yesterday, dropping 2 of 3 north of the border. Jesus Luzardo followed up a historically bad start with another historically bad start. He's allowed 20 runs in his last 5 2/3 innings pitched. His ERA has leapt from 2.15 to 4.46. The Phillies are off to Pittsburgh now for a 3-game set this weekend. They'll start Joe Ross in a bullpen game tonight against former Philly Bailey Falter at 6:40. We'll have Todd Zalecki of MLB.com join us at 11:20 25 to talk about everything going on with this Phillies team that has hit a bit of a skid recently. Yesterday, the final practice of OTAs for the Eagles. They now have just one mandatory minicamp practice coming up next week, and then they will disperse until training camp. In other NFL news, Aaron Rodgers let the Steelers know, hey, I'm going to sign. I'll play for you this year. And in NBA Finals news last night, Tyrese Halliburton with a game-winning jumper to lift the Pacers over the Thunder 111-110 in Game 1 as the Pacers steal Game 1 on the road. This update is brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. Get a wireless plan that saves you money and an extra trip. Switch to Straight Talk at your local Walmart while you shop for those little oranges that the kids love. It's real unlimited data with real convenience. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for the NBA Finals, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
covers them. 11:25. Where Todd Zalecki joined us, but where are they right now, folks? You're seeing them play baseball, and Luzardo got smoked 2 times in a row, his last 2 outings. I don't know where they stand. I really don't. I'm confused. But if you're going out to Pittsburgh tonight, I got some good deals for you. You can get a really good ticket. $39, Ray. Is that in your wheelhouse behind home plate?
Oh, yeah, I could do $39.
You do $39?
Yeah. Might take me out for another game that weekend, though.
Section 117, behind the plate, row P.
It's a beautiful view, too, PNC.
Is
right
it?
Behind home plate. Have you been out to PNC?
No, I've never been.
Oh, my God.
to PNC.
You have to go for a game.
But they still have those field level type. Man, they're still high priced. Seriously? Like $324, like a Diamond Club type of seat? $324? What?
More than they're paying the entire team there.
All right, here's one. $139 in field box 11. It looks like the second row. $139.
Nah, I'm out for that.
Pay $139 to see the Pirates?
Yeah. No, I'm not. And the Phillies, where they're playing right now? No, not thanks.
Come on, man.
Triple digits. I
That's
will be
the
there next week.
cheapest ticket you could possibly get at PNC Pub. I'm looking at $19 in section 319.
If that's behind home
$19.
plate, that's worth it.
It is.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that view out over the river with the bridge in
Yeah.
the background, that's so, if you're up high and you're paying, what, $10, $15 to get in there, that's very much worth
Yeah,
it.
$20, section 311.
I went out last year for the Friday night game. They got walked off on, which was brutal.
Yeah.
But a good time out there. And that place, Tequila Cowboy last year, my college roommate fractured his elbow while we were out there.
Doing what?
We were leaving the bar, and for some reason, the front entrance was packed. That was the only entrance exit, so there was a little fence. And we were like, oh, yeah, let's just jump the fence because it's easier that way. We get out to our Uber. And I was able to, all my athletic glory, was able to leap that fence and get over it. I figured my college roommate, who is much more of an athlete than I am, would be able to get over it.
No go.
He did not, and he landed directly on that elbow.
Oh.
And he just kind of got quiet, went and sat, waited for the Uber, and I saw someone I knew. I started talking to them. They're like, hey, your friend good? I looked over, and he was just like hunched over his elbow. I thought for a second he had too much. I mean, he probably did have too much to drink. But next day, urgent
Broken
care,
elbow, huh?
he got a little sling, and he was back out at bars by the afternoon. He was a real trooper last year.
Broken elbow.
Yeah, not great.
Yeah. Before we get back to the text board and the phones, there was some Sixer news yesterday that we kind of glossed over. First of all, let's put it in perspective. Last night in Oklahoma City, there was a really thrilling ending to that game. And then I'll follow it with the Sixer news. So let's set the mood here of excitement with the final game-winning shot as the Indiana Pacers slay the heavily favored Oklahoma City Thunder. Here are the last 8 seconds.
The Pacers with a chance to win it. Final seconds, no fouls to give. Halliburton looking. Halliburton driving, pulls up, jump shot. It's good! It's good! With 3/10 of a second remaining. Timeout, OKC. Tyrese Halliburton does it again.
Now, on a similarly exciting note, the Sixers worked out Dennis Smith Jr. yesterday to add a little depth.
Excited.
To add a little depth to their squad. Come on, man. Seriously? That's news that shouldn't even be reported. It shouldn't even be reported.
This man was a bona fide scrub. He can't play.
Oh, my God. They got the NBA Finals going on, and I got Dennis Smith news.
It's funny to me, too.
Yeah, it is. It's funny to me, too. All right, let's go to David in Philly. David, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. David. Yo, David. Where is David? There he is. What's up? What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I called. I just wanted to make talk about the Phillies, but I had just jumped in the car, Mike, and I heard you guys, talking about, what happened yesterday and the Phillies in general. I called earlier this week, and I just want to see where you are. I want to gauge some temperatures. I mentioned that my take on the Phillies was that they're an average team that went on a hot run for that World Series year and the year after, which I feel like was kind of like a honeymoon thing where they were excited, the energy was still fresh, and it was like, oh, we got to do that again.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually they came back to reality, and we see the true team, in my opinion, which is who they are now, just good. And the sooner I think we get the false illusion out of our minds that this team is really who they were, the iteration a few years ago that was hot, and realize that this is who they are, the sooner we can stop being disappointed every time we see.
Yeah, well, we're never going to get to that level, David, where we just put it aside and say, well, they're not good enough. They might be good enough. I mean, they're a playoff team. Like, so what does that mean? Now, when you evaluate the whole thing, their weaknesses may hold them back from doing anything in the playoffs, but they're certainly going to get there, don't you think?
Well, I think the right moves by management need to be made, but we have individual players who I think are above average. Bryce Harper, for example, Kyle Schwarber, Trey Turner. But I think their output as a unit and when they play as a team does not equal that individual, skill or level.
I hear what you're saying. That being said, they still have more wins than any other wild card team that's going to be in the playoffs. So what does that equate to? Can you look at it like, yeah, they have a really good starting pitching staff. If they go into the playoffs, they're dangerous, or they have too many weaknesses to contend?
Well, I think the record, every time we see this record, from the eye test, from what I see, because I watch games, is because they beat all of the teams they're supposed to beat. Uh-huh. And we just happen to have a lot of those games against teams that they're better than. Mm-hmm. And then when they play the teams that are at the top of the league, outside of the Dodgers, we can't beat any of them. And the teams that are kind of eye to eye with us, it's kind of a crapshoot. It's like maybe we get smacked by them, or maybe the Phillies feel like handling their business. It's kind of just like.
Yeah. Well, here's the way it stands now, David. I'm going to take it to the playoffs. The Phillies have the top wild card spot, so that means they have the 4th seed right now. If you go with the Cubs, Mets, and the Dodgers, believe it or not, would be the worst division winner. So they would have to play the 4th seed. So the Dodgers right now would play the Giants. The Phillies would play the Padres. So the Phillies will either play the Padres or the Giants. Do you believe that both of those teams are better than the Phillies?
I believe, I'll go and say this. I think in the playoffs, the Padres are better unless they somehow change this team around before we get to the playoffs.
Yeah, but the Padres are always better, and then they're never better. You know what I'm saying? Like the Padres have lumped it up for many years.
Last year they looked pretty
and
good
the Giants, the Giants are the Giants. I don't know if it's as bleak as you're painting it out to be, because it looks like they could win the first series. Now, at that point, you're talking about division winners that you would have to play, and those division winners are either the Cubs or the Mets. So I don't know. They have weaknesses, but I want to know. And so far, the fan base says, you know what? This is what they are really. They're not good enough. That's the message I'm getting. If you got that message or if you got another message, hit me up. 610-632-0975 is how you climb into the Mike Missanelli Show. We're back after this.
Philadelphia Union Soccer.
Go off with these drops.
I appreciate you letting me amuse myself.
Yeah, I let you roam free here.
It's a cult classic. There's about 6 people that enjoy it. It's like the Marines, the few, the proud, those that enjoy me with the drops as we come back from break.
People don't understand that. Well, they do. We mentioned it a million times that when we take a walk down for coffee, which I got to get. Yeah, it's 10:44. I need another cup. We get in there and there's a lady executive in there, and first thing she says to me is, "I can't believe they don't have coffee for you in the studio." In your studio. I go, well, this has only been a 5-year quest for me to have coffee here. I've been defeated for 5 years.
I just don't understand why we don't have it.
I don't get it either. Well, we don't have it because there's not a water line that would fuel a coffee machine, automatic coffee, like a Braun, one of those types. And I would brew a big pot of coffee.
I've seen this comment before. Hello to our YouTube chat here, because MBD said, "Can we get Mike a Keurig?" The issue with the Keurig here,
I don't go Keurig.
Oh, you don't do Keurig?
No, I don't. Keurig is fake coffee.
All right, so I'm going to put that aside for a second. We can get back to that take in a moment.
Yeah,
but
it's like buying jar sauce for me. Okay,
well,
all right, go ahead.
Explains why I like Keurig coffee too.
Yeah,
putting that take to the side for a second.
Coffee. It's what it is.
That's perfectly fine with me. I'm good with that. It's caffeine all the same to me.
Yeah.
We can't do the Keurig here because we used to have right around us a sink and a little place where we could actually get water from.
No sink.
We no longer have the sink, so to fill up the Keurig, we would have to go either to the bathroom, all the way to the kitchen, and we would still take the same amount of time.
This is the studio that time forgot. Now, I was here when they were doing the renovations on the studio like 5-6 years ago, and I suggested at that time that it would be possible maybe if you could install a water line at that time, which would have been really easy to do. But instead, they just sealed up the walls, and that was the end.
I don't understand. We need it. Of all the talkers here, I think we do the most talking.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
we do.
We can't put on Stairway to Heaven for 7 minutes.
This is a talk show, yes.
Well, I mean, of all the stations, we probably, on average, elicit the most words per show.
Well, but here's the thing. The music stations, if they want to get coffee, they can leave their studio for 7 minutes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're right. We only have 3 minutes max.
Put Stairway to Heaven on and get down the
Correct.
Get down the hall.
Now we have to make the trek, and we have to be Gabby Thomas. We have to get from point A to point B and back in a relay race, and a lot of times where we were late.
I don't run the way I used to.
I know.
I got a sprained ankle. What do you want from me?
All right, I gotta also have to ask a question here. I'm not that familiar with the lithium battery thing, so I have these lawn tools with lithium batteries. So I left my weed whacker outside, and hence it was outside when it rained.
Oh,
can rain ruin a lithium battery? Because apparently it did to me.
Oh, no.
Or was that just a bad battery? Was it the rain that did that?
All right. However, leaving lithium batteries exposed to the elements for an extended period of time should be avoided. To extend the life of your batteries, it's essential to protect them from rain, wind, water, and extreme temperatures.
See?
So,
I thought lithium batteries were impenetrable, so I left it out.
Wait a second.
What?
We have a second Google result here.
We do? Okay.
So, okay. The first one doesn't sound good for you. The second one here. Don't worry if your lithium batteries get wet. Thanks to their sealed design, they can endure direct exposure to water without suffering severe or lasting damage. While prolonged water exposure can be harmful. How long was it?
Well, I was through a couple rainstorms.
Oh, yeah, I think you're in trouble.
I am in trouble because I can't charge it now.
Oof. So we got new lawnmower and new weed whacker on the way.
No, not a new weed whacker, a new lithium battery.
A new lithium battery.
I had to get a replacement battery.
Got it. And still a new lawnmower, or if we decide to keep
the lawnmower was able to be fixed.
Oh, that's awesome.
A buddy of mine came over, and we were able to straighten out the wheel.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
So now it's only the lithium battery.
The lithium battery is on its way.
And an entire coat of paint for...
Yeah, it's an Amazon purchase. Now I got a double lithium battery, so I can charge one and keep it charged, and then when the other loses the charge, switch it out. See?
There you go.
I figured it out. But I didn't know what had destroyed the original lithium battery, which was a factory battery.
Yeah, once you said multiple rainstorms, I think that's where you ran into trouble. Even though I think one of the rainstorms we've had over the last couple of weeks probably would have been enough because there's been a lot of rain.
I thought the lithium battery was sealed, so I wasn't aware.
It's all right,
All right. We got another break here?
We do.
Guess who's on the line? We haven't heard from him in weeks.
I have not. Weeks, months.
Yes. Mitch from Arizona is going to give us his solution to fix the Phillies situation. 610-632-0975. If you have any thoughts on this, are the Phillies done? It's June. Are they actually done? Can you project a playoff scenario where they're actually going to get the World Series? Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Phillies dropped the series. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. Phillies lost 9-1 to the Blue Jays yesterday. Drop in 2 of 3 north of the border. Jesus Luzardo followed up a historically bad start with another historically bad start. He's allowed 20 runs in his last 5 2/3 innings pitched. His ERA has leapt from 2.15 to 4.46. The Phillies are off to Pittsburgh for a 3-game set this weekend to try and get right. They're going to start Joe Ross in a bullpen game tonight against former Philly Bailey Falter. That one starts at 6:40 out there at PNC Park. Todd Zalecki of MLB.com will join us coming up at 11:25 to talk through everything going on with the Phillies right now. Yesterday was the final practice of OTAs for the Eagles. They will have just one mandatory minicamp practice next Tuesday before the team disperses until training camp. In other NFL news, Aaron Rodgers has let the Steelers know, hey, I'm coming to play there this year. He will be a Pittsburgh Steeler for the upcoming season. And in the NBA Finals last night, Tyrese Halliburton with a game-winning jumper to lift the Pacers over the Thunder 111-110 in Game 1 of that series. This update is brought to you by WhatsApp. On WhatsApp, your personal messages stay private because your personal messages are yours. No one else can see or hear them, not even WhatsApp. WhatsApp, message privately with everyone. I'm Ray Dunn in your home for NBA Finals action, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5 TheFanatic.com.
The Fanatic, 610-632-0975. We got a lot of Phillies texts. We'll get to them in a second. But we got to go out to Arizona. We haven't heard from this man in a really long time. I don't know what he's been doing with his free time, but he hasn't been calling the show. But let's go back to Mitch in Arizona checking in. Mitchy Poo!
Has it been that long,
It's
Mike?
been a long time, Mitch. What have you been doing?
In Arizona, there ain't much to do. You either play golf or you play golf.
You playing golf and playing golf?
No, I'm not a golfer. I used to play a lot of basketball, but
Well, what are you doing?
my basketball day, being bored as usual.
Like, what are you doing? All right, you wake up what time? Pretty early, right?
Oh, my sleeping habits are terrible.
All right, so you get up at 7. What do you do? Have a cup of coffee? Then what do you lounge around the house in your robe? You know?
No robe.
No robe? In your skivvies?
No.
What?
Boxer short.
Oh,
Boxer
you're
shorts.
on your boxers. And then what's the day like? What do you plan lunch? Is that what you do?
Yeah, it's not an exciting place to be. You wouldn't like it at all.
All right, I hear you. What's going on with the Phillies, Mitch? Talk to me.
Well, other than the two stiffs they have out in center field, this guy Stott that's leading off for the Phillies is the wrong leadoff hitter. I mean, he's a disappointment.
Yeah, he started off fine, and then he's kind of hit a wall. They may have to go back to Trey Turner.
You know, you were talking about the lithium battery getting wet.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the Phillies not too long ago. They played some games in the rain. Maybe that's their problem. Their batteries are done.
Yeah, I don't think it's the batteries. I think it's the human flesh part that's wearing them out. I don't know. I don't know what to make of this team, Mitch. But that's like the long haul question is really the most important question. What do you see with this team? Do they have too many weaknesses to play for a World Series?
Absolutely. I mean, you know, you can't talk about what's going to happen in September in regards to who's a better team for the Phillies to play. In other words, who's better? Are the Phillies better or the Mets better? It's too early. But the way they're stacked up right now, when I say stacked up, the way the lineup is, the way the bullpen is, this Luzardo thing is very odd. Nah, they're not going to the World Series.
No, that's disappointing. Yeah.
Well, it's reality. You know, Mike, yesterday, Luzardo's a left-hander. The manager for Toronto, I believe, put either 8 or 9 righties in the lineup. The Phillies couldn't even dress 8 or 9 righties because they don't have 8 or 9.
No, they need to get a bat that can play left field with a right-handed bat, and they need to get a nice bullpen piece. Now, I don't know how they're going to get that, to be honest. That's his task. He's the general manager. He's supposed to be one of the better general managers in baseball. He knows exactly what the weaknesses of this team are. If they don't, they're in denial about it. They need a right-handed bat that's more reliable than what they have. They need a bullpen piece. And they may have to think about if Luzardo is going to continue on this track, Luzardo will be a playoff left-hander in the bullpen.
Is there one left-hander right now in this rotation you feel comfortable with will survive the 162?
I like Sanchez. I think he'll survive it. Suarez, I don't know. Who knows? He's pitched well lately, but I have no idea. The back issue, whatever. Christopher Sanchez is going to give you 5.5, 6 innings.
Right, which I guess might just be what we have to get comfortable with him because he really hasn't gone above 90 pitches in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And if he can give you 5 or 6 innings where he's, 2-run ball, 3-run ball, you live with that. That's good. And you feel comfortable with that. But Suarez, the velocity was down in the last start again. Luzardo mentioned hitting that innings threshold. And right now, you just hope he's tipping his pitches. I think that's what we have to sit here and hope that that's the case. This has happened before with Tim Miami where something mechanically gave away what he was doing.
Yeah.
And not to this extent, because this, again, is historically bad. But you have to hope that they're able to correct that by his next start. I just don't know when I sit here and look at these lefties. You have a lot of upside with the left-handers in rotation. If we get to September and we're talking about all three of these guys, seriously, like who's going to be that third starter for them, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we're concerned about all of them. And that also guarantees that Nola comes back and is Nola.
You're really down on him right now, aren't you, Ray?
You're
feeling not good about it.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty discouraged. And I think a lot of it comes back to a lot of the problems I had with them last year.
Yeah.
I sit here and I'm like, dude, it was obvious to me. I'm not on payroll by the Phillies, and it was obvious to me what you need to fix, and you didn't.
It's the Mike Missanelli Show. You're listening to WPEN HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station broadcasting from the Comcast Business Studios, powering possibilities. I can't. I have a problem tonight with the Phillies game for a number of reasons. Number one, I can't stand to watch a stink team like the Pirates. Number two, I can't stand, certainly, to watch a stink left-handed nibbler like Bailey Falter, who I hated with a passion when he was here. And for that matter, can I sit there and watch Joe Ross be the opener?
Or what follows Joe Ross?
I might try to go bowling tonight, for crying out loud.
Yeah, we still got Luke Bryan.
This game?
Maybe we get you Luke Bryan tickets. Maybe we go up to promotions and see if we get you at the concert.
My God.
That's it. Country concert or Pittsburgh Pirates for you specifically.
You know, I feel like I got to watch these games, but Bailey Falter gives me agita watching him.
That's a 3.14 ERA, Bailey Falter, to you too.
Bailey Falter is like so many other players in this town that people gravitate. Oh, Bailey Falter's pretty good. I go, he's got slop. He throws pus. How is he any good?
I'm curious, how many people were coming up to you saying they thought Bailey Falter was a part of the future here?
A lot of people. A lot of people were dazzled by Bailey Falter. He knows how to pitch. And they would say, well, Bailey Falter, he's got that long release, which means he's not throwing it 60 feet, 6 inches. He's actually throwing it 55.
The classic extension conversation.
Yeah, the
good extension.
I think his 55 blows. What are you talking about?
It says 92 on the gun, but it feels like 94,
it feels,
95.
Yeah, it feels like 94 because he's actually releasing it at the start of the grass where the circle is. Like, come on, man. Seriously.
I would love a good extension conversation.
You know, Cliff Lee used to do that. I picked up on Cliff Lee right away because he cheated on the rubber.
Mm-hmm.
He was actually in front of the rubber. He didn't have his foot anchored on the rubber. He was like a couple inches off the rubber when he started to pitch. He started his windup.
Worked pretty good for him.
Which technically is can't do that. But they let him slide with it.
He's good.
All right, let's get to Phillies text. Because I set up a scenario where the Phillies now have the lead wild card spot, which means they would play the second wild card, which would be the Padres, while the Dodgers, who have the best record for or worst record for a winning for a division winner, would play their old nemesis, the Giants. Now it could flop around. The Phillies could play the Giants. Dodgers could play the Padres. But we're getting a lot of text on that because right now the Cubs and Mets have the 1 and 2 seed, and that could change as well. But right now, what are the fans saying about that particular matchup?
I have a depressing text for you.
All right, go ahead.
I think this is going to hurt your soul. Phil from Florida. The Titans and Sixers are mirror images. They have GMs without a clue and fraud leaders who have never won anything. Not good.
Fraud leaders that haven't won anything. Well, they've been successful, though. Like, they haven't won the whole thing, but they did go to a World Series. They did go to a NLCS championship game. And last year was kind of an aberration. It's not like they haven't had success, right?
Yeah, they've had success.
They've had success.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
They've gone beyond the Sixers.
What does fraud leaders mean? Is he putting the bullseye on Harper?
He's not the only one. Another texter. Don't worry about the Phillies. We have GM Harper on the job.
Yeah, see, that's not fair. Hey, Bryce Harper. Like, you want one guy like Castellanos to join? You want them to sign every player that would help the team? Like, what does that mean? You know, they're not running stuff by Bryce. Probably saying, well, what do you think of Castellanos? I love him. You know, it's not like make the deal. It's offering an opinion. It's not fair to Bryce Harper.
Right,
but are they saying that Bryce is not a leader because of that?
I guess. I mean, that's what at least Phil was insinuating that he's not the leader. And I would say that this is not a shot at his leadership. I would say a leader of that clubhouse is definitely Kyle Schwarber of that group.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just Schwarber's personality. I think that's part of the reason why, since he's been here, they've been better club. I mean, that and, of course, on the field, he's helped them a ton.
You used the Dave Dombrowski. Better club.
Better club. Hey, listen, we're always talking about the club here.
I like it.
Only Miami promoters talk about clubs more than Dave Dombrowski.
Okay, what else we got? We got another text on that note?
Sean from Cinnamon said, we all agree the Phillies are a playoff team. That's not good enough. 12 teams make the playoffs. We need them to be a Final Four team. This team as constructed is not a Final Four team. Bullpen is below average, and the hitting comes and goes, so we have no idea what we are getting.
Okay, again, if the playoffs are today, Phillies, let's just say it's Phillies-Giants. Do the Phillies win that series?
I feel good about that one.
Feel good about it, right?
Yeah.
Now, the winner then would play the Cubs or the Mets. Do you feel good about the Cubs?
Yeah, I think the Cubs have a regression coming.
Okay. Do you feel good about the Mets?
No.
All right. So if the Phillies play the Cubs, you're talking about another NLCS versus the Mets, maybe, or the Dodgers. At that point, you go, no.
Yeah. Yeah, and even the Padres right now, I know you dismissed them earlier.
Yeah.
The thing that scares me about the Padres is they're kind of the inverse Phillies, where if their starters get through a lineup twice, they feel great because their bullpen is loaded.
Here's the bottom line. It's a hard pill to swallow to think that the Phillies cannot play in a World Series. That's the hardest pill to swallow. Because, again, you kind of ran it back this year. You made a tweak in your starting rotation. You made a tweak in left field with another guy, left-handed bat. And right now, the Philly fans go, they're okay, but they're not World Series worthy. That's a hard pill to swallow.
Very, very difficult. But again, it comes back to what they didn't do. I think some of this fan base swallowed that pill once the offseason ended. And I didn't. I came into the season look at this starting rotation, look what they could be. Obviously, the bullpen's been what it was, and that's been disappointing. But if they were a bullpen arm away, you'd feel good going into the trade deadline. I tried to give the trial period of the first 2 months, the first 60 games of this season to, hey, maybe this outfield's going to improve itself. Maybe Bohm's going to come in, and he's going to be the guy you need. Maybe Castellanos is going to be that guy who hits 25 home runs for you. You haven't gotten that.
No. This is why I'm asking the question. What is this team really, and what is your feel right now for this team? The majority opinion is that this team is not World Series worthy. So far, through the first hour and 7 minutes of the show, that's the vibe I get. Here's how you get in. 610-632-0975. I want the truth from the Philly fans. The Mike Missanelli Show continues.
The Philadelphia sports fan is about passion.
5. Ray, I'm going through the Major League Baseball standings here, and I'm looking at run differentials. Who do you think leads in the National League with run differential?
Ooh, let's go the Mets.
Incorrect.
Cubs?
By a large margin.
Wow.
Plus 106.
Sheesh.
For the Cubbies, which is why they're in first place at 39-23 and lead the second place Cardinals by 5 games. Second is
I'll go with the Mets again.
the Dodgers
Wow.
at plus 76.
Are the Mets frauds?
Third, the Mets at plus 71. Fourth, the Giants at plus 42. Fifth, the Cardinals at plus 26. Sixth, the Brewers at plus 25. 7, the Cincinnati Reds. And Cincinnati, 20 plus 23.
With the losing record, by the way.
A losing record. And you're fighting Phils at plus 18. That's a big stat. They're way down on the run differential list.
They've gotten smoked past 2
They
weeks a
got
couple of
smoked,
times.
and they're not smoking anybody.
No. Which was something we talked about earlier this season with the usage of these bullpen arms, the number of games they had to come into where it was high leverage, 1 run, 2 run, you got to preserve a lead. That was a bullpen conversation we had back when Jose Alvarado was still a part of the long-term plans here.
Mm-hmm.
That they were overusing guys early on this season. Now, they're sneaking by or they're getting smoked.
All right. So they have to be fixed in some form. We know it.
That'd be the
Bullpen, offense. Dave Dombrowski. Is he capable of fixing it? Here are the top trades that Dave Dombrowski has made so far for the Phillies. He got Jose Alvarado for Garrett Clevenger. All right. Solid. He got Brandon Marsh for Logan O'Hoppe. O'Hoppe's having a really good year.
He is. A lot of people pining for him right now.
Carlos Estevez for George Klassen and Sam Aldeguerri.
Also having a very good season right now.
Aldeguerri is?
No.
Oh.
Estevez. Not for the Phillies.
Yeah, now he's been moved on. Edmundo Sosa for Jojo Romero. They could use Jojo Romero right now. Who would be more valuable to the Phillies right now, Jojo Romero or Edmundo Sosa?
Do you think Jojo Romero would have survived the turnover in this bullpen over the last couple of years?
Probably not, but let's look at him right now. Right now, he's been up and down, but the last time we saw him, he was pretty good.
Yeah, I think that Edmundo Sosa surviving the long term of the plan of this team versus Jojo Romero still makes that. I would take that trade over the Marsh trade right now.
He got Garrett Stubbs for a minor leaguer.
Woo!
And a pair of overalls.
Hell yeah.
He acquired Austin Hayes for Seranthony Dominguez and Christian Pache.
Yes.
He got Moses Chasse out for the year and Seth Johnson, who pitched yesterday.
He's arrived.
100-mile-an-hour Seth Johnson.
Yeah, the adrenaline was pumping for him.
For Gregory Soto. Nick Maton. Oh, how soon we forget Maton.
Wolfie.
Donnie Sands and Matt Vierling to the Tigers for Soto and Cody Clemens. Hao Yu Lee for Michael Lorenzen. Mickey Moniak and Jadiel Sanchez for Noah Syndergaard. Who, by the way, when they got him, I'm saying, this guy's got pus. And everybody's going, you don't know what you're talking about, Mike. Noah Syndergaard is helping him.
I was working into camp at the time, and the trade happens. I was on trade deadline day, and I just remember saying to my coworkers, great, they made a deal with the Angels, and it didn't involve them getting Noah Syndergaard. This is wonderful, because that was the Marshall Hoppy deal that happened earlier in the day. Within a few hours, one of them comes up to me and says, remember when you were talking about Noah Syndergaard earlier? He's a Philly. It's like, no, stop. Don't play with me. Please, I don't want that. They're like, yeah, they made another trade with the Angels today. Noah Syndergaard's a Philly. I was like, why?
I wish I had a nickel for every every misjudgment the Philadelphia's fan base has made about certain players.
4. Come on. How could you
What are you
not love
talking
him?
about, Mike? No, Syndergaard, he's giving him good innings. Your sister.
Noah Syndergaard last pitched in the Bigs. Was it that? No, 23 he made it, right? He at least made something in 23.
What are you talking about, man? Weston Wilson's a good player. Oh, that was just Bill. Oh, sorry. that wasn't a fan.
You know what? I'm sorry.
And Bill got a promotion. He thought Weston Wilson could play. He's now doing evening drive.
I hadn't heard.
Yeah, we don't have enough notice of that. We need a few more commercials.
There's one coming up at the break. Don't you worry.
Oh, is there?
I can see it right now.
We need another Bill commercial.
My apologies, Noah Syndergaard. He did start 18 games in 2023, so not just a cup of coffee in 2023. Something we also don't have down here.
Hey, have you heard? Bill Colorado is going to give you real sports talk in the afternoon. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm just mocking. Don't take me seriously. I'm just mocking.
We saw him earlier today.
We miss Bill so much.
We saw him earlier today.
Yeah, he's bopping around. What was he doing today? Oh, he was doing more promotional work.
Yeah, I got an email. Hey, this weekend, Bill Caldwell was on your show in the 4 o'clock hour.
Promotional work. He's doing newspaper articles.
Is there a story on him? Did I miss it?
Somebody did a story on him, and they used a picture of him being interviewed by the television when he was representing some client. Did you see that?
Oh, is that the? Yeah, I did see that.
Did you see that one?
Yes, I did see that.
Was that in the Inquirer? Maybe.
No, I believe that was one of your boys at Crossing Swords.
Oh, was it Crossing Swords?
Yes.
Did it?
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Crossing Swords.
So I was like, wow, they got a picture of Bill on TV. I didn't realize Bill did TV work. And it was
Crossing Swords posed the question, boy, the industry has changed when some lawyer can just walk into a radio station and get a gig. 610-632. Now, Bill has earned every step of the way. Mike Missanelli Show, right here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Phillies lose a series. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies lost 9-1 to the Blue Jays yesterday, dropping 2 of 3 north of the border. Jesus Lazaro followed up a historically bad start with another historically bad start. He's allowed 20 runs in his last 5 2/3 innings pitched. His ERA has leapt from 2.15 to 4.46. The Phillies are off to Pittsburgh for a 3-game set this weekend to try and get right. They'll start Joe Ross in a bullpen game tonight against former Philly Bailey Falter at 6:40. MLB.com's Todd Zalecki will join us coming up at 11:25 to talk all things Phillies and get you the latest going on with this team as they are right now struggling over the last week and a half. Yesterday was the final practice of OTAs for the Eagles. They will have just one mandatory minicamp practice next Tuesday before the team disperses until training camp. In other NFL news, Aaron Rodgers told the Steelers, hey, I'm coming to play. So Rodgers will be the Steelers quarterback this upcoming season. And in the NBA Finals last night, Tyrese Halliburton hit a game-winning jumper to lift the Pacers over the Thunder 111-110 in Game 1. This update is brought to you by Erie Insurance, celebrating 100 years of protecting your family's most priceless moments then. Now, always Erie Insurance, ErieInsurance.com. That's ErieInsurance.com. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the NBA Finals, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
The Philadelphia
25. Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5. The Fanatic. All kinds of interesting news around the sports world, including Aaron Rodgers, the Steelers. So we'll get to that in a second. But we got bigger fish to fry here. And the fish we have to fry is a one that stinks at the head right now. The Phillies are on a bad streak, and all their weaknesses seem to come afloat. To explain what's going on right now, including what happened to Luzardo, the man who covers the Phillies for MLB.com. His name is Todd Zalecki. Hello, Todd. How you feeling today? Where is my man?
Oh,
there he is.
You there?
Yeah,
there we go.
Hello,
Hey,
Zoe.
Mike.
How are you?
Good. I'm great.
You got a lot of panic in the city going on right now, Todd. No, it's a laughable matter, but it's not a laughable matter. What in the hell is going on with this team right now?
Yeah, it's funny. About a week ago, everybody, when we were talking about the Phillies being really hot and they had the best record in baseball, a lot of people, the comments I would get on Twitter and email and whatnot was like, yeah, but who have they played recently?
Mm-hmm.
They played a bunch of stiffs. And I'd say, well, you can only play who you can only beat who you're playing. But now, after this past week, those guys have a little bit of validity behind those statements, or can kind of feel better about those comments. They only beat the really awful teams in Major League Baseball, the Pirates, Rockies, and A's. And yeah, the offense is falling asleep. That first game in Toronto, they scored 6 runs in the first inning. You're like, okay, here they go. They're gonna get back on. And they scored 4 runs in the final 26 innings of that series. And, Jesus Luzardo has the worst start of his career last Saturday against the Brewers. And I'm sitting there feeling very confident that he was going to pitch better than that. And then then yesterday was not as bad, but almost as bad. And then he started getting into historical stuff about, the last Phillies pitcher to have back-to-back starts like that was almost 100 years ago, and so a lot of their flaws have certainly popped up over this past week.
Yeah, let's talk about Luzardo, because this is historic, really. The 2 starts that he's had. I mean, he's given up 20 runs in 5 2/3. His ERA has ballooned. His stuff seems to be pretty good. His velocity was still. What do you think is the problem here? He's gone past the innings that he's pitched last year. Could that be it? And if that was it, I would think his velocity would be down.
Yeah. I mean, it could be it. It could be like maybe just his mechanics are just a little bit out of whack. But the one thing that I saw yesterday against the Blue Jays, and I guess happened a little bit against the Brewers, is that they were jumping first pitches from him almost kind of like they knew what was coming. And so then you automatically go, yeah, maybe he's tipping his pitches, but that's also something that gets thrown around a lot anytime somebody gets hard. I remember asking Jordan Romano earlier this season, that game where he gave up like 6 runs, and he's like, yeah, maybe I'm tipping my pitches. I don't know. I'm going to look into it. And it turns out he really wasn't. Same thing with Luzardo. So maybe he's tipping his pitches, or the fact that they are just squaring up the ball on the first pitch early in the count. Maybe he's becoming too predictable. And maybe it's just poor execution, but you're right. He doesn't seem to be, you don't see that drop in velocity. You're going, this is not good. So you tend to think that he'll be able to figure it out sooner rather than later. And certainly for the Phillies' sake, he needs to figure it out sooner rather than later. Yeah, because this whole team is really built on the starting pitching. They've got their flaws offensively. They've got a bullpen that needs help. But you look at this, the defense is hot and cold. But really, when you look at this team and like what's going to get them in the postseason, it's like, well, they're going to get to the postseason because they have perhaps the best rotation of baseball. But if Luzardo is going to struggle like this, that kind of
yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Where could that lead if Luzardo continues to stack up these bad starts? There might come a time where they have to go away from him. And with their bullpen, they need a left-hander in the bullpen, and everybody's thinking, well, if playoff time, Ranger Suarez can handle that role. But where could this possibly lead if Luzardo blows up?
Yeah, if it keeps going like this, I mean, honestly, Mike, it's so hard to believe that this would continue. I find it hard to believe that he won't get it turned around, considering how good he was in his first 11 starts, and considering how good he has been in his career when he has been healthy. But for argument's sake, let's say he loses his confidence, he continues to get hit hard. Yeah, maybe they have to make a decision at that point, and that's why you have Mick Abel. That's why you have Andrew Painter coming up probably after the All-Star break. So those are all things that they're going to have to kind of think about and consider. But boy, worst case scenario, is that they have to make a hard decision on Jesus Luzardo, who literally a week ago today, Mike, you could have made the argument this guy could be starting for the National League in the All-Star game in July. I mean, he was that good. Maybe he wouldn't have been, but you could make the argument that he could have been. Yeah. And now he's probably not even going to make the All-Star team with an ERA in the mid-fours.
He was slotted as their second best starter, really, for the first part of this year. All right, but let's get to the real problems that have been visible for a long time. And so one is the bullpen. Now maybe I'm a cynic, but I can't see you putting Taijuan Walker in a high leverage situation where he's one of your top 4 guys that you go to him and get a key outs in the 7th. Maybe he is. I don't know. But it seems to me they're going to have to make some kind of a move to get a reliable upper echelon bullpen guy. Mick Abel pitched well in his second straight start. Are we hearing anything that he could be in a deal that would bring you a relief pitcher?
Boy, well, you know what? About 2 or 3 weeks ago, I would have been said, that guy is a great trade chip. But man, the way he keeps pitching, you sit there and go, do they really want to give him up for a rental guy like a Ryan Helsley? Say they fall out of contention, or a Aroldis Chapman from the Red Sox, or Pete Fairbanks from the Rays. Their closer. Certainly, I think you could get something for him now. I mean, you could definitely probably get a late inning reliever. But man, you wouldn't feel great about it if he keeps pitching this way. But they're trying to win a World Series, and they have to do something. And I would be absolutely floored if they don't do something. I don't know how big it's going to be, but they do have enough trade chips in the system that they could maybe address that situation without trading somebody like Mick Abel. There's a young kid in A-ball right now. His name is Arun Escobar, who's quickly rising up the prospect ranks among talent evaluators. He's a guy that somebody told me in spring training is like, I would not be surprised if he has a great year. He's a top 100 prospect by the end of the year. But he's still an A-ball, so he's got a long way to go. So I think they could do something without trading somebody like Abel. But on the other hand, when push comes to shove, either you address it and you fix it, or you don't. And they have to address it and they have to fix it. So they've got to kind of put their money where their mouth is and make a deal to help this bullpen. Because you're right. I mean, Taijuan Walker yesterday topped out at 93. Maybe it's because it was a blowout situation. He didn't have a lot of adrenaline going, but they got to get him in some high adrenaline situations, high leverage situations the next few weeks, because you got to know at least what you got. I mean, maybe he can be that guy, but if he's not, it kind of puts more pressure on him to find some help outside.
Yeah, I'm just not feeling it. Now, the guy you talked about in St. Lay, are you talking about him in the context of a trade, or are you talking about him like an ascension like Kirkering made, where he could really help the team?
You're talking about Abel, you mean?
Yeah. No, the relief pitcher that you were talking about in single A ball, who's rising up the prospect.
Oh no, Escobar. I'm sorry, Escobar is he's an infielder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. He's a position player.
Oh, so he would be a guy in a trade. Okay.
Yeah, in a trade. Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
just trying to think if they have some talented guys in the lower levels that could maybe get you something where you wouldn't be giving up a guy like an Abel. I personally. A lot of people say, well, Aiden Miller, he's a shortstop, he's an infielder. They got Bohm, they got Turner. I really like Aiden Miller. I have a lot of people tell me that they love him as well, and I would be really reluctant to trade a position player talent like that to get a relief pitcher. Same thing with, Andrew Painter. They're absolutely not going to do that for. Same thing for a guy like Justin Crawford. He could be their shortstop. I'm center fielder at some point this season. So I'm not trading him for a relief pitcher either, unless you're like totally backed against the wall and you're like, well, either we don't make the playoffs or we collapse in the postseason because our bullpen is bad, or we trade Justin Crawford. So, they have a lot of really tough decisions coming up.
All right. So on that note, the world talks about, the Philly fan base talks about Trey Turner all the time. They hate him as a shortstop. They think it's like beer league softball where you can plug a guy from this position and you move Turner to second, you move Stott to short. It doesn't work like that in the major leagues. But it is plausible that maybe they would make him a center fielder. But you just talked about Justin Crawford. So where does Trey Turner stand as far as next year goes? What the Phillies evaluating what he does at shortstop compared to what he could do somewhere else?
Well, next year for sure. That, Mike, to me is the key thing. Next year, I would be absolutely stunned if at some point this season, and I've heard the same stuff, right? They got to move him out of there, move him into center field, move Stott over to second. Then maybe play Edmundo Sosa at second, or move Stott from second to short, Sosa at second. I do not see that happening this year. You don't do that to a guy like Trey Turner mid-season. Just all of a sudden throw him into the outfield, throw him into left field, wherever you want to put him. But I do think in the future, maybe as early as next year, I don't know. They're going to have those conversations, but not right now. And listen, he's a league average shortstop, probably at best. He had that huge error on Sunday. It was a huge error. There's no doubt about it. That was his first error in a month. You look at the metrics, and I'm not a total real big believer in the defensive metrics. I think they're kind of all over the place sometimes. But he grades as a below average defensive shortstop. So, it's fair, absolutely fair to have these conversations. But I don't think anything's going to happen this year.
All right. Yeah, I don't either. I think it's foolish, and I agree. You just think, can you imagine they go to Turner, so you're getting demoted? Right. You're talking about an MVP candidate player. You just can't do that to somebody. I hear you.
Right.
All right, Zoe, always a pleasure. Have fun watching Bailey Falter pitch tonight against Joe Ross. Let's go.
Tell you what, Mike, if he pitches like he pitched in, I think it was Game 3 of the 2022 NLCS or Game 4 of the 2020. Remember, he didn't even get out of the first inning.
Yeah,
that would be good for the Phillies tonight. But he's pitched a little bit better since then.
Yeah, I'm going to time his fastball with a sand dial. Yeah, tonight. So yeah. All right, Zoe. Thanks, man. We'll talk to you up the road.
Take care, Mike. See you.
There he is. That's Todd Zlecki, who covers the Phillies for MLB.com. Bailey Falter and Joe Ross. Get your tickets early. Oh my God.
I hope you like Pittsburgh as a town.
Oh boy, I'm putting my pods in for that game. I'm covering that game. I'm rocking Mannequin Pussy for the first 5 innings.
Music, folks. It's a band.
610-632-0975 is how you get in. The whole world is upside down. I'll explain after this.
Hey, everybody, it's Bill Colarulo, host of the
3-race spring horse thing. The Belmont, the longest one, right? It's the longest race.
Most difficult.
You got to have stamina to win the Belmont. And I'll have some selections a little later.
Does Jason Worth have a horse in this one?
Who?
Jason Worth?
Jason Worth does not have his horse in there.
Ah, jeez.
No.
Flying Mohawk, too disappointing the first two times?
Yeah, he's not entered in Belmont. It's only an 8-horse field. And the favorite is Sovereignty, and Journalism, which won the Preakness, is the second favorite. And I am not selecting either of them.
You're out on Journalism.
To win. I think Journalism has had a long road, man. He's been in 3 races now.
After a long road for Journalism, it's finally come crumbling down. It's
yes,
over.
Journalism in his 3rd race. This is the longest one. I think the cult will be a little weary, as we say.
Yeah. Well.
All right. But I got a surprise selection coming up.
I'm excited. I need to make back the money I lost betting against you.
Yeah. Now, let me just say that the whole world is upside down right now. You know why? Because the New York Knicks fired a guy who brought the Knicks to their highest level. Mike Malone got fired, and he's now doing TV. Both successful franchises that got zipped. Dennis Smith Jr. working out for the Sixers has become a news story. Like if I'm Keith Pompey, Keith Pompey wrote it. He's a good friend of the show. And my editor comes to me, I like you to do a story on Dennis Smith or working out Dennis Smith. I go, no, we don't need to. It's not a news story. All right. What else? Daryl Morey has a musical that he's producing. He's got a job and a musical. See, the whole world's upside down. Weston Wilson is pitching relief for the Phillies. Trump and Musk are no longer best friends. Trump's going to deregulate EV. In response, Musk says Trump was in the Epstein sex ring. And now Trump wants to sell the Tesla that Elon gave him. The whole world's upside down, right?
What's going on in this life?
What is going on?
What a day.
Besties broken. The bond is broken between besties.
What a day on Twitter yesterday. X, excuse me.
Yes. What were they saying on X?
The jokes were flying back and forth all over the place between the two of them.
They were fighting like 14-year-olds. I swear to God, President of the United States, the world's richest man, fight like 14-year-olds.
Breakups are tough.
Oh, it's ridiculous. All right. 610-632-0975. The question of the day is, what is this team really? And we just heard Todd Zielecki. There's a lower-level prospect that they think they can get a relief pitcher for. Rincones. Right? Is that what he said?
Escobar.
Oh, it's
Ruin
Escobar. It's Ruin Escobar, not Rincones.
Rincones could probably go to.
Yeah. So that's who they think they can get. Now, what kind of relief pitcher you get for that? I don't know. I don't know if you get a top-notch relief pitcher. But they do need one. They need a right-handed bat. And they're not easy to find. So it is up to Dave Dombrowski. I know he keeps relying on we have a very good club. But this club is not good enough right now that you say, that, yeah, they can go to the World Series. They're being held back by a few things. Lack of offense, lack of late-inning bullpen, and now a starting left-handed pitcher who's gone south. All right, let's get back to the phones. Let's go to Charles in Germantown. Charles, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Charles? All right, I can't punch him up here for some reason. Punch him up there for me, right? This board is not working. Hold on. Let me see if I can do it on the phone. Nope. Call the engineers. We got a meltdown all of a sudden. Charles, are you with us? Can't call him up either. We got some phone problems here. Hold it. Charles? No. We lost him now. Oh, now it's going all crazy. My board is going all crazy. So we go to Joe Mantua. Try him?
Why not? Try it out.
Joe Mantua, you're on the air.
Hey, Mike, what's up?
What's up, Joe?
First thing first, the Belmont's only a mile and a quarter this year. They're running it at Saratoga, not Belmont.
Oh, that's right. They're running into Saratoga. That's right. That's my mistake. Thanks for correcting me. I forgot about that. It's
Usually
Saratoga.
When I make my pick in the Belmont, I go for the breeding.
Yeah?
The horse is bred like its sire is a Belmont runner, mile and a half. I should go that route. But
All right, who you got?
you throw a
Who's your
darter
Belmont
and have much
selection?
luck picking them.
Who's your Belmont selection?
I haven't looked at it yet.
Oh, okay. All right.
But as far as the Phillies go, I mean, I wouldn't trade any of them top 4 guys. Miller, Crawford, Abel, or Painter. I think the biggest problem with this team is, I mean, granted, they do need bullpen help, but I wouldn't trade anybody worthwhile. Like I said, the top 4 to get any kind of.
Okay, well then let me ask you this: if you don't trade any one of them, you don't get the bullpen help that you need. You just told me you're not going to the World Series. That's what you just told me.
Probably not. But again,
wait, probably not. Isn't the idea to go to the World Series?
It certainly is. But I don't want to blow out the next 10 years by giving up Abel, Painter, Miller, or Crawford.
But this is a veteran-laden team. You got to do it now. You can't wait.
I understand that, but I think these guys are what they are. Even if they do get bullpen help, I still think when it comes down to push comes to shove, the bats will either win a form or lose a form in the playoffs. I know you need a stellar bullpen, but like the last 3 years they got knocked out to Houston, Arizona, and the Mets. The bats went silent all 3 series.
Well, that's why you got to get a bat too. But here's the thing, Joe.
We're going to play them, though. I
get it, but you can't run away from this concept. Unless you maximize this team, you don't have a chance to win. They're not maximized right now. You have to maximize this team. You have to maximize it with another bullpen guy and maybe a right-handed hitter. It is up to the general manager to do that. It's up to the general manager to put the best team on the field for his fan base to win something. You can't say, well, no, I'd rather not break up the future for the next 10 years.
Yeah, I guess you're 100. I mean, that's what Ruben Amaro always did. He went for it, and I give him credit for doing that. But I just don't. I hate to badmouth my hometown team, but I just don't think these guys got what it takes when it gets into playoff time.
Okay, so you're saying that they almost have to kind of rebuild with youth.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm torn. I mean, like I said, I see your point of view. Taking a shot at it.
Yeah, I'm looking at it like what would be my duty as a general manager? My duty as a general manager, if I'm Dave Dombrowski and I'm supposed to be all world, I have to formulate a team that could actually be a threat to win something. That's my mandate. That's what I have to do. So whoever he has to trade to get those pieces that make them more complete, he has to do it. He can't say, well, I don't want to trade this guy. Well, guess what? You backed yourself into the corner by having to trade that guy because your current team isn't good enough. 610-632-0975. Back after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Bills drop a series. I'm Ray Dunn with the Fanatic Sports Update. It's brought to you by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary with Bet365. Download the app today. The Phillies lost 9-1 to the Blue Jays yesterday, dropping 2 of 3 north of the border. Jesus Lazaro followed up a historically bad start with another historically bad start. He's allowed 20 runs in his last 5 2/3 innings pitched. His ERA has leapt from 2.15 to 4.46. The Phillies are off to Pittsburgh for a 3-game set this weekend against the Pirates, where they look to bounce back and end this losing skid. They'll start Joe Ross in a bullpen game tonight against former Philly Bailey Falter at 6:40. LB.com's Todd Zalecki joined us earlier this hour to talk about everything going on with the Phillies. You catch that conversation one more time on our website, 975thefanatic.com. Yesterday was the final practice of OTAs for the Eagles. They'll have one mandatory minicamp practice, just one, next Tuesday before the team disperses until training camp. In other NFL news, Aaron Rodgers let the Steelers know that he is going to sign with them. So Rodgers, the new quarterback in Pittsburgh. In other news, the NBA Finals going on last night. Game 1, Tyrese Halliburton, game-winning jumper to lift the Pacers over the Thunder, 111-110 in that first game of the series. This update's brought to you by Visit Myrtle Beach. There's a reason people call Myrtle Beach the beach, because here you become your best self. You can speed up, slow down, and make waves even on land. You belong at the beach. Start planning at visitmyrtlebeach.com. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for NBA Finals action, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
It's time. It is the Mike Missanelli Show. Our big friggin' deal this week. You get a same-day ride and water park combo ticket to Maurice Piers for just $70. That's a $50 saving per ticket for unlimited ride on 3 piers and both water parks for a whole day. Make this summer unforgettable at Maurice Piers. Get this exclusive offer while supplies last at 97.thefanatic.com/deals. See, I got it right that time, right?
You did?
Yeah.
Deals. I think it was the distraction of the person sitting next to you that caused
I think it might be.
You were so on edge of what he was going to say next that would drive you nuts that you just were always thinking details because he was so fixed on the details of things.
Now his dead ass is out of here. So.
Who?
Who? I want to see what the weather's going to be at the shore. You got the weather?
I don't have the weather.
Rain?
I've been following the weather up here because it was supposed to be thunderstorms tomorrow. My friends are getting married outdoor. And it's been a
Saturday, 50% chance of rain.
Stressful week for them.
Cloudy.
Down the shore
Sunday, this is down the shore. 50% chance of rain Saturday, 55 on Sunday, 55 Monday, 65 Tuesday, 65 Wednesday. Oof.
What a lovely week we've got.
The following weekend is also rain predicted. What is going on here?
Because I'm getting back down the shore that next weekend.
You are?
Yeah, the Father's Day down the shore.
Rain again.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, guess we'll have to entertain ourselves somehow.
Bring an umbrella. Play board games. You like playing board games?
Yeah, I'm a big board games guy. You know, for Father's Day, my dad's a big puzzle guy.
Oh, he is?
I feel like breaking out the puzzle probably be more what
jigsaw?
we do. Yeah, like one of those big, 1,000-piece.
Oh, yeah?
He'll just sit there.
I don't have the patience for that.
I think that's really where he gets peace from all of us.
Really?
I think he's just sick of us, and if he's doing a puzzle, he looks busy.
Yeah, he has to be, removed and concentrated on that puzzle.
Right, and not us.
All right.
Specifically.
I like it. Let's go to Charles in Germantown. He's back with us. Charles, you on? How you doing, buddy?
Mike.
Thanks for calling back.
How's it going, man? Hey, that's all right. I go back with you to Eminem back in the day.
Wow.
Look, I appreciate you coming back, man. We need this because I tell you, I'm just a stickler about the lineup.
Uh-huh.
And I just have a problem with this, and I feel like it hasn't worked.
Yeah.
It's not consistent, and I'm just tired of that. And I feel like, if it would have worked 1-2 years when we hit the playoffs, fine. But it seems like, I don't know if it's a Philly curse or what, but the point is we just can't hit. And I feel like we just need to go back to tradition, get rid of one of these bats, bring somebody has some pop, consistent pop from the top of the lineup, and hope for the best.
I agree with you that they need another hitter in this lineup who can play left field to balance out what they don't have. But you said something about the lineup. You're going to change the lineup around? What would be your lineup?
I would tweak it. I really would.
Give me your tweak. Who leads off?
It ain't much of a choice right now that we have. Not unless there's anything down in the farm. I don't see nothing up here right now.
Well, don't you have to lead Turner off at this point?
I think that's the only one you got that you can tweak with, and maybe, just maybe, if you get somebody else that can hit and pop, maybe it can transfer over to him and he gets the energy. Because I actually seen, and it doesn't always happen that way, but I remember when Boa had a mediocre bat. Mediocre bat.
Uh-huh.
And then all of a sudden, I don't know what Dave Cash did to him or gave him certain food or what, but all of a sudden, Boa had a little respectable bat after a while. And the lineup at the top just at least helped generate some people on base, and things got started. But you know what? I'm not going to be long because I know you got other callers, but Mike, I just have a problem because I don't know everything about baseball, but when I was born, my grandfather and father, when they were alive, I was dipped in the DNA. And the one thing I've been used to is seeing a lineup that actually you get some runs when you generate some people on base. Mm-hmm. And I think Schwarber would rack up in this whole league if he just had been on base when he got to the plate. He's going to hit. He's the one that's not going to stay in a slump, believe it or not.
Yeah. No, I hear you, man.
But then you make my, and then Mike, last thing, you make my day by telling me Daryl Morey's doing a play.
How about that?
He would have been out of here after the
He's
season.
producing a musical with the 6-foot basketball players. I mean, 6-inch basketball players. Yeah, 6 inches.
I'm not feeling Josh, but I'll say one thing about Josh. He will spend the money. So that's one thing you need to have out of the owner. Mike, it's been my pleasure. Keep it up, man, because like I said, I go back with you for a while.
All right, Charles, I appreciate you. Thanks for checking in. He spends the money. Josh Harris, you going to give Josh Harris any kind of credit at this point?
I just want to be out of this building.
He gets zero credit. But I think I'm going to come up with a different Phillies lineup. I think I got the lineup.
You got it?
Yeah, we'll get to that a little later. I went into my bag of tricks. I came up with a lineup I think would work for a little bit.
Rojas, big part of it, right?
No. 610-622-0975. You're listening to the Mike Missanelli Show. It's on WPEN HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. It is now time, ladies and gentlemen, for the news at noon.
There's a whole lot going on in this world. It's time to catch up. Here's the news at noon. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
All righty, Ray Dunn with the news at noon today. Ray, what are we cooking with today as our lead story?
All right, our lead story here. We got plenty out of Saquon Barkley on the Green Light podcast with Chris Long. As a part of, I guess, their tour around Philadelphia, Chad Ochocinco, Chad Johnson, joined the program. And he's made comments in the past about the fact that he used Viagra while he was an NFL player.
Yeah.
And wanted to get into a little bit of the performance-enhancing benefits of that. So here's Chris Long's questioning along with the answer from Ochocinco.
You talked about taking Viagra before a football game.
Yes.
What are some other activities you might take Viagra before?
Well, definitely not sex. That doesn't help. That's it. Just
so why is it good for football?
Because you have to think it's a performance enhancer. Viagra, the blood flow increases.
Vasodilator. He's already very vascular.
How did you know? Yeah. So you got to think about it. For me, being that it wasn't much to go to my front end, it went everywhere else. So what does that do? I'm more explosive on the field.
Yeah.
So like, how the are they going to stop me running on 3 legs? Like that's the whole concept behind it. So they're testing me for steroids, and I'm taking performance enhancer.
Well, hold a second. That's Ochocinco?
Uh-huh.
That's Ochocinco talking about a performance enhancer.
Yes.
With tongue in cheek.
How the bleep are they going to stop me running on 3 legs?
Yeah, well, see, this is the problem. That drug can only be activated with sex thoughts in your head. It doesn't give you an automatic third leg. It enhances the flow based on the amorous feelings that your brain feels.
So he loved football that much?
Well, no. So you can't love. It doesn't work by loving football. It works by loving in a sexual situation.
So he had
A lot of people think, you pop a Viagra and boom! No, that's not the way it works normally.
I'm not much help in that regard. I don't.
Well, you'll find out later.
Yeah, I'll check in with you some years down the line on that one. I can't be much
Come on, man. I know. Listen, that's a funny little conversation, but a lot of people have the misconception about what that is.
So you're saying that's a lie? He's lying on that one, one way or another.
Yeah, he's lying.
There's something
The
wrong.
way it works is in conjunction with the brain when your brain feels sexual amorous feelings, not football feelings.
All right, sounds good.
All right, there you go.
I'm not much help on the explanation here.
Okay.
Move on to story 2. We're going to the NBA Finals. Tyrese Halliburton, obviously, with a big shot last night. The Pacers steal Game 1 in Oklahoma City. One clip last night, though, that took Twitter by storm is he's been accused of this before. His voice seems to switch midway through a conversation. So he's on with Scott Van Pelt. Listen to the clip and tell me if you hear his voice change in this clip.
Okay. Here's the thing is, like, we've had to win in so many different ways all year. We've had so many weird wins during the regular season, during the playoffs. So why would that change because we're here in the finals? It's not changing. So, we just keep staying at it and just keep believing. And, that's the result we get.
Yeah, he got higher. He got higher there. Yeah, his voice got a little higher.
It's like right in the middle.
Yeah, unless that was the microphone that did that.
I don't know. Take a listen one more time.
All right, go ahead.
Here's the thing is, like, we've had to win in so many different ways all year. We've had so many weird wins during the regular season, during the playoffs. So why would that change because we're here?
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
Why would that change?
Yeah, it went up.
Why would that change?
Yeah, why would that change?
Why would the voice change?
No, I got to say, he's an excellent front man for a franchise.
Yeah.
He really is.
Unreal.
He gets it. He most of the stuff he says after games makes sense. He seems like a good enough dude.
Yeah, there was an exchange with him and SVP last night where SVP was like, "Yeah, man, I'll be honest with you, I totally doubted you guys," and he didn't do the whole like, "Oh, you should have." It was just dapped him up like, "Yeah, man, we stunk at that point. Like you were right to doubt us at that point."
Yeah. Well, he also said, "Yeah, I took you for granted too," didn't he?
Yeah.
Something
also,
like that.
Yeah.
He took a
I was
shot
late to the
back
party.
at Van Pelt.
Oh, that too. Yeah. But I thought he's fantastic. Just hearing him talk. I mean, especially after everything that happened with his dad and Giannis, I thought he handled that situation well.
Yeah. Can we hear the clip where he makes the shot yesterday? Because
you want the Pacers radio call?
Here was the let's get the Pacers radio call. But the OKC just as Alexander had a shot that he could have made. He did not make it, and it was saved by who was it? It was Neesmith. Made the save almost out of bounds and got it up the floor. They decided not to take a timeout, and here's the way it ended.
Gilgeous Alexander has it, 9 to shoot. The defender is Nembhard. Here comes the left-hand bounce, penetrates the arc. Nembhard cuts him off, and he missed off the back of the rim. Rebound, Indiana. 8 seconds to go. The Pacers are not going to call a timeout. Halliburton has it with 3, driving with 2, pulling up, and hitting with 0.3 of a second to go. How many more times can this team do that?
Man, this Pacer team, I doubted them, but they're my new squad.
Stop it.
They're my new squad. I abandoned the Knicks. I'm a Pacer man now.
I abandoned the Pacers once they got past the Knicks, and now I think I might be jumping back.
You got to come back because now they're the underdog pulling the upset over the big bad Oklahoma City Thunder.
I know. I'm curious, though, and today actually is the anniversary of the step over. Was that Halliburton's step over moment?
Oh, it was kind of a step over moment.
But in terms of the way the rest of the series goes.
I don't know. He's on a roll, man. That kid is really, he orchestrates everything, but they've got such good role players on that team. They're well coached. I like to watch them.
Hey, you know who had a couple of nice shots last night?
Who's that?
T.J. McConnell.
Did he have a couple clutch shots?
Yeah, a couple nice shots. Did he? A little turnaround jumper.
What, 8-footers?
Oh, yeah. A little turnaround jumper, get himself some space.
His arm only reaches 8 inches. All right, go ahead. What we got next?
All right, you mentioned how great Halliburton's handled things. Something that was not necessarily handled great. The transition from Beadle and Decker to Stephen A. Smith's show on SiriusXM.
We talked about it yesterday. Michelle Beadle was a little hurt that she didn't find out or that she found out this new show was coincidentally during her time slot, which meant she's probably out. And here's the update from Stephen A.
I want to state for the record, just so everybody knows what kind of man I am and what kind of teammate I am. I had no idea that folks did not know. I was told by SiriusXM to wait until this morning on the Howard Stern show to make the announcement. Whatever communication they've had with anybody who's there, where they're staying, where they're being moved to, who's staying, who's going, or whatever, is none of my business.
Coming in defense of people that thought he was jumping the gun to make that announcement.
Well, he did jump the gun, didn't he? Tweet it out.
He was told by SiriusXM he could make the announcement on the Howard Stern show.
Yeah. Is that where he made it, or he just made it on social media?
He had said Monday he had an announcement coming on Wednesday, and then he made the announcement on the Howard Stern show, and then this all took over. And an update from SiriusXM, Beadle and Decker done as of yesterday.
Yeah, they were finally told. After it got really awkward, they were finally told they're out.
Yeah, but out. As in, they're not seeing the end of the contract till the show ends. Yesterday was their last day.
Yeah. Can't put them back on after that.
No, they did 6 hours over the last 2 days of basically, wow, the show's ending. Let's talk about it. Beadle came.
I hope Cody Decker gets a new job, whoever he is. I have no idea.
I'm telling you, this was good for him. It's bad to get let go. I think his name is in more places now than it was before because all this happened.
Really?
Yeah, we didn't know Cody Decker.
Beadle's been through 5 jobs over the past couple of years, man. I don't know what's up with her.
And the way Beadle handled this one, I mean, I imagine she'll get another job. Michelle Beadle. But
you realize that Stephen A's New York accent comes out every now and then.
I heard it.
Record.
I heard
it. It's spelled R-E-K-I-D. Record.
The way he says idea, too.
Yeah, idea?
Idea.
Yeah. Record. All right, that's the news at noon. 610-632-0975. I don't know if we'll ever get Stephen A on the show again. First of all, the time doesn't work.
We have to fit him literally between 12 o'clock and 1 o'clock.
We would have to, I think we...
Does he do post-production and pre-production? Like, how could he...
I don't know, man.
Where's he doing all this from?
I have no idea.
A lot of questions for him.
But I'm sure Stephen A is like, we're low on the priority list right now.
Hey, you got a text from him.
I did get a text from him. I got a text that announcing the new show.
Yeah.
Yes. See, that's where I thought he put it on social media.
Yeah, you found out from Stephen A. The rest of us found out the normal
I did.
way.
I got the text. I said, this is a buddy of mine who poached something on social media. It was actually Stephen A. All right, 610-632-0975. We're back after this.
Yo, Philly, it's Bill Colarulo, host of...
Speaking of Elon, there's an X right there. Oh, she's got a Tesla. You think she does? You think he gifted her one?
Probably.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see her as a Tesla type. She's too wild. She needs something more exciting.
Such as?
Well, I don't know. Something that roars. Tesla doesn't roar. It's
no.
quiet.
Very quiet. Not that I guess I've been in Ubers that are Teslas.
Have you been? Been in an Uber? It's been a Tesla Uber?
Oh, yeah, there's plenty of Tesla Ubers around the city.
Look at that. About that. That's a pretty high-priced car for an Uber, isn't it?
Yeah, very interesting. I never really understand when they pick, because I don't, trust me, you know how cheap I am. I'm not ordering any nice, fancy Uber. Just getting the regular old-fashioned Uber. Actually, I'm more of a Lyft guy, I have to say.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Lyft, I found, is cheaper.
Is it?
I think. I mean, I usually look at both and then make a decision based on which one was cheaper, but Lyft, more times than not, for me, has been cheaper.
Yeah, I have no reason to use Uber. I never Uber.
Because you just like driving, like being in...
I take my car everywhere. And I hardly drink anymore. So it's not like I have to worry about
me
that.
either, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know me.
You're in your prime, man. When you get to be, me, it's like, I can't do it anymore. You change.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to happen to me. I said this week, I was like, maybe I'm starting to go. But I think I'm still solid. I think I got a solid few more years of going out and enjoying, and then that'll be done.
All right, so yesterday the Phillies get creamed and lose 2 of 3 to the Toronto Blue Jays. By the way, I love that logo. You like that logo? It might be one of my favorite logo in baseball now.
The Blue Jays?
Yeah, that Blue Jay with the maple leaf there.
Yeah, it is
That's
nice.
a cool logo, isn't it?
It is. They've got, I think, a good base, like, color set scheme.
Would that be a violation if I got that hat?
No, I'm never one of those guys that you can't rock the...
Really?
Unless you're not
cool
over
hat.
93.
Like, I'm not a fan of the Blue Jays, obviously, but that's a cool-looking hat.
Yeah, but, they're American League. I think you'd be fine to wear.
You gotta be fine?
Yeah, just don't get a Joe Carter jersey.
Fitted cap?
Fitted cap, yeah.
All right, in any event, we have a Luzardo problem now. On top of the bullpen problem, on top of the offensive problem, where we gave you the details a little earlier. Run differential, they're like 7th in the National League. For a team that's like got the top wild card spot right now, 7th in run differential, they're only a plus 18, which tells you they're not scoring a lot of runs. They're not scoring a lot of gulp runs.
No, they're not slugging the way that you would think this team would, too.
Yeah, meanwhile, Luzardo's given up 20 runs in 5 2/3 innings. That's abnormal. I can't figure that out for the life of me. A guy who's got that kind of stuff could give up 20 runs in his last 5 2/3 innings to balloon his ERA by more than 2 runs, almost 2.5 runs.
It's unreal. I can't think of a time I've seen this happen from like a 2 ERA to a 4 ERA. Like guys who had 4 ERAs that ended up being bad and ballooning their ERAs like this. All right, maybe. But this far into the season when you're pitching that well?
Yeah. They're 16 and 18 versus teams 500 or better. So the time for evaluation is right now. Now, they get a break by playing the lousy Pittsburgh Pirates. But what is this team really? When we talk about a team, we talk about the Phillies in the context of they could contend. They could actually win something. But right now, there's a lot of problem areas that you have to look at.
We got texters that are livid with this.
All right, what's the text board saying?
Joe in Pottstown. Gents, window closed on this team. Not good enough. Yeah, they may win a series, but no way a World Series.
Well, I don't see a World Series right now. I got to be honest with you. They have to make a stride of some sort to get to where I go. Yeah, I believe in them now. They can actually get through the National League and get to the World Series. But as far as right now, I see that they could win a first-round series, but I don't see anything more than that.
Really hard to get past that at this point. The Mets have their number. Mets figured out how to beat them. The Dodgers, they've had a weird owning of the Dodgers for the last couple of years. It's weird they haven't played in the postseason, but are you telling me that you're going to get to a postseason series and feel comfortable going up against that Dodgers team?
But what happens if they don't? Where is their direction? If they don't get to a World Series this year, and they get eliminated after the first round, what are they? How would you then look at this team? Would the manager go? Would you have to make some kind of transition? You can't make a lot of transition because guys are under long-term contracts.
You get to the final year of the Castellanos contract. At some point, you got to think you're looking at Bohm, even though you feel like you might be selling low on Bohm. You got to be looking at him.
All right, I tried a different lineup here.
All right, you got a different lineup for us?
Let me try
we have texters with their own lineups as well.
All right, the texters have the lineup. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll get the texters. Well, I'll get my lineup first, and then we'll get to the texters lineup. This is about as good as I could do, and I think it has some rationale to it. 610-632-0975. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Phillies dropped the series. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies lost 9-1 to the Blue Jays yesterday, dropping 2 of 3 north of the border. Jesus Luzardo followed up a historically bad start with another historically bad start. He's allowed 20 runs in his last 5 2/3 innings pitched, and his ERA has leapt from 2.15 to 4.46. The Phillies are off to Pittsburgh for a 3-game set this weekend. They'll start Joe Ross in a bullpen game tonight against former Philly Bailey Falter. That one at 6:40 at PNC Park. MLB.com's Todd Zielecki joined us earlier in the show to talk about everything going on with this Phillies team. You can catch that conversation on our website, 975thefanatic.com. Yesterday was the final practice of OTAs for the Eagles. They will have one mandatory minicamp practice next Tuesday before the team disperses until training camp. In other NFL news, Aaron Rodgers is going to sign with the Steelers. So the Steelers find their quarterback, and Aaron Rodgers finds his home for this upcoming NFL season. And the NBA Finals last night, Tyrese Halliburton hit a game-winning jumper to lift the Pacers over the Thunder 111-110 in Game 1. This update is brought to you by the local Rheem Pro partners at the RheemTeam.com. When you want your home to feel like a dream, it has to be Rheem. Stay cool with a high-efficiency AC system from Rheem, RHEEM. Find your Rheem Pro partner at the RheemTeam.com. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the NBA Finals, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
It's 12:26. Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5 The Fanatic. Go ahead, Brittany. Before I get to my lineup, and we'll get to everybody else's lineup, this is kind of piggybacking off of the Pacers win last night. Did you read this story where the ABC affiliate in the Fort Wayne, Indiana area that is broadcasting the game cut away from the game with a little more than a minute left to do their promos?
I did.
Oh
and I'm almost positive Brandon Gunn has this in the system for us. Let me make sure that we have this.
They cut away a minute and 8 left, right, in the game. The exciting conclusion is to come, and they go back to the anchors for the local news desk, and they go, next on 21 Alive News, the man who was brutally beaten at Pike's Pub last week has come forward. Here's what he wants to have happen now.
Would you like to hear it live?
Yes.
Here you go.
All right, let's go.
The Thunder clinging to this 3-point lead. SGA to drive inside. Shot blocked. Siakam throws it back.
Next on 21 Alive News, the man who was brutally beaten at Pike's Pub last week has come forward. Hear what he wants to have happen
You've
now.
got to be kidding
Also
me.
tonight, a big night for Pacer fans as Indiana is in the NBA Finals. We'll show you a local business who has seen a boost from the Yes Sir.
That is the most incredible thing I have ever. You have to be brain dead as the assistant news director or whoever did that, who ordered that, should be fired. So I'm stunned. A big night for Pacer fans as they drink it up at a local bar. What are you talking about?
Big night for Pacers fans.
And then they go to the weather. They went to the weather. Meanwhile, a minute and 8 goes down the drain, and they missed the game-winning shot. How is that possible?
That's fire-worthy, for sure. You can't keep your job after that.
Oh, my God.
Imagine, the 2022 run was on Fox. Imagine the Bedlam at the Bank. Fox 29 cuts in. Coming up tonight. And I know it was a Sunday, so technically it doesn't work like that.
Well, they didn't miss the best part of the game, it looks like. They missed the preliminary. So they did get it back to get the game winner.
I would lose my mind regardless. 1 minute left in a finals game? Tonight. The bar you're drinking at, we're going to have on the show. Shut up. Shut up.
Pacer fans enjoyed themselves tonight at a local establishment.
I don't know if I'm enjoying myself. I want to see if I enjoyed the game because I want to see the end of the damn game.
Did they at least have a split screen?
I don't think that.
Let's go over for the weather. Well, it's going to be sunny tomorrow in the Indianapolis area. Oh, how could you be so obtuse?
I just don't get it. Do you know what channel you're on?
That's incredible. All right, let's go to Reggie. He's currently in Iowa. Well, that's close to Indiana, I guess. Reggie, what's happening?
Hey, Mike, Ray, how y'all doing?
What's up, Reg? How you doing?
I've been listening every day. I'm in Sioux City, Iowa.
Oh, Sioux City.
Delivered a load of ice cream last night that I brought out from Las Vegas.
Oh, there you go. Ice cream from Las Vegas.
Would you believe out in the desert there's a place that makes the Blue Bunny soft serve ice cream?
Oh, really? Blue Bunny is a famous brand. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about that?
So, the Phillies.
Yes.
I don't pretend that they are a World Series team. They have shown to be, to me, slightly below average. And Rob Thompson, all he does is fill out the lineup card. He doesn't, compared to other managers before that would maybe they were a little bit too controlling of each pitch and each batter. He lets these guys go up and they do whatever they want to do, to me, with no regard for the entire lineup.
Well, wait. Well, I don't know what you mean by that. What is he supposed to do?
Okay. Well, they're professional hitters, so.
Yeah, what's Rob Thompson supposed to do as a manager?
Well, nothing, because that's his consistency to me.
Well, what's a major league manager supposed to do if his team's not hitting? I mean, he can jockey the lineup a little bit. They can work on some things mechanically, but bottom line is you're facing a pitcher. You got to do it. I always say this to people: there's nobody who can help you once you step in there.
And then with their inconsistency, do they? They don't. I'm not going to even ask the question. To me, they don't. They don't see pitch by pitch. They don't have an idea of what they want to do, setting themselves up for the following batter, to me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the problem is. I think there's a lot of guys that are fascinated with hitting the ball the other way instead of driving it to the pull side. Too many guys in the lineup like that. Castellanos always trying to hit the ball to right field. Bohm's always trying to hit the ball to right field. Stott sometimes turns on the ball, but I think they've been soaking it. You got to use the whole field. You got to use the whole field. I think maybe it's taking their natural stuff away from them. I don't know.
Yeah, that might be because isn't it? You take what the pitcher gives you and you take it. So easy example: you throw a fastball down the middle, that's supposed to go over the wall, right?
They've taken their share of fastballs for called third strikes, Reggie, which I do not understand. A major league hitter who takes a fastball for a strike three, I don't know what he's possibly thinking, or he's trying to overthink it. He's guessing, and you can't be a guess hitter in Major League Baseball. You'll always got to be geared for a fastball and adjust to a breaking pitch. Now, if the guy gets you out with a hellacious change up or some kind of breaking stuff and you're geared for a fastball, well, you got to take your medicine. But you can't take a third strike fastball, and they've been taking a lot of those.
They have. And I can tell you yesterday the thing that bothered me the most, well, not the most, probably the way Luzardo pitched bothered me the most, but one thing with the lineup that bothered me a ton yesterday, third inning, back-to-back Marsh and Marchand were deep counts.
Yeah.
To the point where, he was missing. He walked Marsh on a 3-2 count. Marchand ends up, I think he grounded out, ended up moving Marsh to second. Stott comes up. Mm-hmm. Stott saw a ball. So after Bassett had gone deep counts, back-to-back hitters, cutter in on his hands, he just pops up to the second pitch. He's supposed to be the guy that works the counts the best on this team. You've got a runner on second with just one out, and he ends up with a cutter in on his hands that he ends up just popping out.
But I don't a cutter on your hands is the pitcher's pitch. He got you out on it. That looks like it's going to be a strike. I don't know. I think you want to be aggressive there. If it looks like a strike, I think you want to be aggressive. It just so happened that it cut in on you and it handcuffed you.
But to me,
I don't know about the mindset there.
He hasn't been in the zone for the last two hitters. He hasn't been in the zone for Marsh and Marchand. Those are two guys that he should be in the zone.
Yeah, well, he got 2 strikes on both of them, didn't he?
Yeah, but he was 3 ball. He walked Marsh. That's right now. That's a very impressive thing for you to do as a pitcher, to get him to a 3-2 count and miss the plate by so much that he ends up just taking there.
Yeah, I get it. I think that there's 2 men on base there. I think the mindset is to be aggressive, get a ball you can handle. A cutter looks like it's going to be a strike. You're going to be able to barrel it up. Sometimes the cutter is too good of a pitch for you to do that. So, no, I hear you, though. So you wanted to wait him out a little more.
Yeah, I thought at that point, hey, maybe you could actually start to work on Bassett. And that's something, I guess maybe I go in the expectation of a Stott at bat where that's going to happen.
And Stott's not afraid to hit with 2 strikes, too. So there's no excuse for him not looking at more pitches. I hear you. All right, here's my lineup. Well, that's actually, there's my lineup. All right, Turner's leading off. Who's my number 2 hitter? Kraft Singles.
Really?
Kraft Singles. He hits the ball to the right side all the time. He's hitting behind a runner. Why not utilize him? Make Bohm your 2 hitter.
Okay.
Harper, Schwarber, Castellanos, Stott, JT, Kepler, Marshall, Rojas. Kepler or the guy they get in a trade who's a right-handed hitter. That's my lineup I'm going to try.
The platoon mate is out there and left.
Yeah.
Because I don't think any of us are fighting for the Kepler everyday thing right now.
No. Kepler and a platoon with the traded guy. The guy they got in the trade. And then Marshall Rojas. Well, doesn't it make sense to have Bohm as your 2 hitter? What's he do? He hits the ball behind the runner all the time. If Turner gets on, you got first and third because Kraft Single's going to hit it to right field.
Yeah, my issue is more him getting more at-bats than Harper and Schwarber.
Well, Harper's in a good spot in the 3-hole. So if one of those two gets on, Schwarber's going to hit in the first inning anyway. You want Schwarber behind Harper, right?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
You want Schwarber as your cleanup hitter behind Harper. I like to get my first two guys on. Bohm's not a strikeout guy. He puts the ball in play normally. Now, maybe he hits into a double play, 4-6-3. But most of the time, he's going to try to hit the ball to right center field. That's behind the runner. Turner gets the third. I mean, that's an infusion in your lineup right there. So I'll try that.
You can try that. I'm still having Harper in my 2-hole.
You want Harper in the 2-hole?
Yeah. I want the 3 most at-bats, most play appearances in my lineup to be Turner, Harper, Schwarber.
You want Harper, Schwarber.
Yeah.
Who's your cleanup hitter?
Guess at that point I push for Bohm. Well, I'm stuck between
You want
Bohm
as your cleanup hitter. See, for me, Bohm is better as a 2-hitter than a cleanup hitter.
I'll go back to why I liked Schwarber at leadoff. Is because I want to maximize plate appearances for my best hitter.
You want to go back to that Schwarber leadoff thing?
I don't necessarily want to go back to it. If we've decided that's not, like we've seen now, he's going to hit solo home runs wherever he is in this lineup because this lineup just does not put runners on base a ton for him. Like it just happens to be that way. It's happenstance when he ends up putting, like he's had 19 homers this season, double digit of them are solo.
Yeah.
Like it just happenstance. When he gets home runs, there aren't guys on base. I can't really explain it to you.
Yeah.
Any other way. So if they've decided his best usage is to protect Harper and be behind Harper in the lineup, fine. I'm fine keeping him at 3. But I want Turner as my leadoff guy then.
All right. So you got Turner, Harper, Schwarber.
Correct.
Boom.
Yeah. What's the other option? Castellanos?
I know Bohm drove in a lot of runs last year, but all right, I guess I can live with that. We'll get to everybody else's lineup changes after this. And Uncle Frank's checking in again. And then we have room for your call at 610-632-0975 is how you get into the Mike Missanelli Show. The 12 o'clock hour is brought to you by Service First HVAC, offering 0% financing for 48 months, rebates and tax credits up to $4,300 when purchasing a heating and cooling system. Learn more at ServiceFirstHVAC.com. Back after this.
Hey everybody, it's Bill Colarulo, host of the New Afternoon Show.
42, Mike Missanelli Show. So, Ray, one thing we need to do around here is get more promos for Bill. I think we don't have nearly
not enough yet.
We don't have nearly enough. We need like 103 more.
What is he up to?
Apparently he's doing a show called Unfiltered. Yeah, that's what the promo said. But it was the beauty part about Bill. Now, he did the show with us for, 9 months?
9 months, yeah.
9 months. Did he ever invite us to play golf?
I never got invited. I know that for sure.
Okay. I never did either. So he comes in today. I go, so what'd you do a couple of days? I play a little golf. Yeah. I play with Ricky. I go,
What?
Ricky. He plays golf. Oh, Mikey Miss can't get a sniff at his golf course.
What's the matter with you?
He's forgotten all about us.
Of course, I've taunted his golf course before by an animal sound. Ooh. But other than that, I'm sure it's a good place to play. Just that we never got the invite.
Never got the invite.
We sweat and toiled with him for 9 months. You think he could throw us a bone, little golf? Nah.
No.
Play with Ricky.
You know what I forgot about this whole thing?
What?
It was yesterday. No, it was 2 days ago. First day we were doing the show with the two of us, and he said, "Hey, yeah, I got the kids, but Thursday I'll reach out and maybe we go get a beer and we all could hang out and toast to it."
Yeah.
Did you hear from him yesterday?
No, we didn't hear. He played with Ricky. Yeah, I brought him over to my shore house a couple weeks ago. We're sitting there having margaritas together. You think I could get an invite?
Yeah.
Mike, would you like to play golf with us? I got Ugats.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Are you kidding me? All right, before we get to Uncle Frank, give me a lineup. Give me a couple lineups on the text board.
All right, Quinn's texted in 2 lineups here for you.
Okay.
First one, Harper, Turner, Schwarber, Casty, Stott, Bohm, Kepler, JT, whoever you play at second.
He lost me at Harper.
Yeah, also lost me at Harper.
Yeah, come on. Harper can't lead off. No reason
Second
for
one.
that. Yeah.
Turner, Harper, Casty, Schwarber, Bohm, Stott, JT, Kepler, again, whoever is playing center.
Castellano is your 3-hitter? What's it go again? Turner, Harper?
It goes Turner, Harper,
Castellanos,
Schwarber, Bohm, Stott, JT, Kepler, center fielder.
I can live with that.
Yeah.
That's not bad. I can live with it.
Better than the first one. I'll give him better than the first one.
Yeah.
Someone's trying to tweak you here by saying Rojas is your leadoff hitter, Mike.
And maybe that'll maybe he'll bunt. As the leadoff hitter, maybe he'll bunt with his 36-inch bat that he lugs up there. You got enough bat, you might as well bunt.
Joe from the Northeast. Turner, Harper, Schwarber, Casty, Bohm, Stott, JT, Kep, Marsh.
Okay.
Yeah, he's basically interchange partners for me on Bohm and Casty, and he's got Stott up instead of Kepler.
I don't know why it doesn't make sense with Kraft singles in the 2-hole.
Just don't want to see
Kraft singles in the 2-hole. Get Turner to third. That's a form of small ball. Everybody, you got to play more small ball. All right. Turner gets on. Ball gets hit through the hole, first and second base. He goes to third base. First and third, nobody out. Here comes Harper. Huh?
Or on that pitch that he's supposed to hit the other way, he swings right through it, and there's an out.
It's possible, but he'll make contact. He usually makes contact. Bohmy.
Yeah, that's right. Ground ball to second baseman, 4-6-3.
Let's go to Uncle Frank in Westchester. What's up, Uncle Frank?
Hey, happy frenetic fighting Friday, friends. How's that for alliteration?
Pretty good. I like it.
Boom. Okay, much senseless content roaming in my head. I saw on TMZ that, Trump told Musk to meet him in the schoolyard after the final bell. So we'll see. Well, you're right, though. The world is upside. Oh!
Yeah, there you go.
Look at that.
I don't know. Who you taking in that battle, Uncle Frank?
I got to tell you, Trump's a big dude. He's like 6'5".
He's not. He's not 6'5". He's 6'2", and he's got boobies. You see his boobies? Good Lord, put a bra on or something, dude. Do a push-up.
These are big.
Do something.
They're almost as big as Belichick's.
They're worse. They're worse than Belichick. My God.
You think?
And he's stop wearing those bandline shirts too. Come on, man.
By the way, Ray, just because you swallow a blue pill doesn't mean you can hang a drywall bucket off it right away. You know?
Come on,
hang
a drywall.
Please stop, Uncle Frank. I don't want to hear any more about it.
Come on. No. Hey, listen, Mr. Mitch was looking for a rim shot with the lithium battery analogy. Come on.
Yeah, he was.
I already gave you a rim shot, Uncle Frank. Yeah. Don't test yourself.
Thank you, bud. So, this is what 162 damn games a season does, you know? Mike, I was right near your hip pocket the other day because, loving yourself third lumber, as was I. Now, man, I'm in the Nervine boat. I think, look, stand me in front of the dugout. I'll close my eyes and point, and you spin me around several times. There's a high percentage. I'm going to be pointing at someone who's a disappointment, All
right, who are your top 3 disappointments?
Oh, well, unfortunately, JT's shot, but he's not that he's a disappointment. But and I have no problem with Turner. I really don't. We just what's his name at leadoff has not turned out to be a leadoff hitter.
Stott.
Yeah. And there's just the power is waning.
Yeah, they don't hit for power.
You're right. Not Castellanos is not.
No, he's a Bohm-esque hitter right now.
I like your Kraft singles.
Singles.
Real quick.
And Castellanos Sorrento singles.
How about those pesky Pacers, huh?
Yeah.
It's going to be a great team.
I might have to change my mind on this. Who's going to win this series here?
I got them in 6. I mean,
you got the Pacers in 6?
I do.
That's a good price. You took them in 6.
I love their coach. They had balanced scoring, 47% from beyond the arc. Top and Beast and what's his name? Halliburton's got elephant Coulignones. He
does. They blend, Uncle Frank. That's a pretty good team. They blend. This is how you build a team. You don't tack on people. You blend it. You get guys that play together for a while, that know each other's roles. They're all kind of in their mid-20s, except for Siakam, but he gives you good leadership. They do what it takes. They're good. I don't know if they'll win the series, but they've been impressive. 610-632-0975. Friday. Anything on your mind right now as you go into the weekend? We'll address it on the Mike Missanelli Show on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Phillies dropped the series. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies lost 9-1 to the Blue Jays yesterday, dropping 2 of 3 north of the border. Jesus Luzardo followed up a historically bad start with another historically bad start. He's allowed 20 runs in his last 5 2/3 innings pitched. His ERA has leapt from 2.15 to 4.46. The Phillies are off to Pittsburgh for a 3-game set this weekend to try to get right. They'll start Joe Ross in a bullpen game tonight against former Philly Bailey Falter at 6:40 at PNC Park. MLB.com's Todd Zalecki joined us earlier in the show to talk about everything going on with the Phillies. You catch that conversation one more time on our website, 975thefanatic.com. Yesterday was the final practice of OTAs for the Eagles. They'll have 1 mandatory minicamp practice next Tuesday before the team disperses until training camp. In other NFL news yesterday, Aaron Rodgers told the Steelers, "I'm coming to town." So Aaron Rodgers will be the quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers for the upcoming season. In the NBA Finals last night, Tyrese Halliburton hit a game-winning jumper to lift the Pacers over the Thunder in Game 1 in Oklahoma City. This update is brought to you by WhatsApp. On WhatsApp, your personal messages stay private because your personal messages are yours. No one else can see or hear them, not even WhatsApp. WhatsApp, message privately with everyone. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the NBA Finals, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
promised you that I would look at the Belmont Stakes, Sarasota, this Saturday. And I got my hunches. I got my selections. I got it all ready. The prohibitive favorite in this race is Sovereignty. But I'm not feeling Sovereignty. I will put Sovereignty in a boxed exacta. My choice for a winner is a 6-1 shot named Rodriguez.
Rodriguez
took first in the Wood Memorial, third in San Felipe. Robert Lewis Stakes was second. Was a late scratch in the Kentucky Derby with a crack in his hoof.
That's healed?
He is the only horse in the field who did not run in May, which means he's got a lot of energy.
A lot of energy, but full health.
He's got full health. He's been out. His hoof is repaired, or they wouldn't be running him. 6-1. I also like a horse called Baeza. 4-1 choice. Baeza, Ray. You know who Baeza's grandfather is?
Who would that be?
Big Brown.
Oh, man.
Big Brown won the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness in 2008, the same year that the Phillies won the World Series.
Wait. Didn't win Belmont, but this different track where it's Saratoga.
Did not win the Belmont.
I'm still in.
Derby Preakness for Big Brown, a big horse. Big Brown, named after a UPS situation.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. Makes sense.
So Baeza, keep your eye on Baeza, but I'm taking Rodriguez in a boxed exacta with Sovereignty.
I'm going to believe
not
in
taking journalism.
I'm believing in journalism.
You're sticking with journalism.
Yeah.
Huh?
Same thing I told my parents when I was looking for a job. I'm sticking with this journalism.
At a guy. What did they want you to do? What, they want you to be a dentist or something?
Nah, they supported this.
They did?
Yeah.
They supported it?
I know.
Did they have an idea, like when you were 15, what they wanted you to do?
No, they never really did the whole, you should go do this.
Yeah.
I told you the one thing they tried to do was, you should apply to Ivy League schools. For what reason? I'm not going to go. I don't want to pay all that money.
Why not? They were going to pay it.
No, they weren't.
What were you going to do? Take out loans?
Yeah.
They would have paid it.
No, they wouldn't have paid it.
Really?
I think they would have helped. I mean,
would have helped you?
They would have helped as much as they could, but there would have been loans.
So where did you get the idea that you wanted to be in sports journalism in some form?
Really?
Or did you just want to be play-by-play from the jump?
It kept changing. Play-by-play was like the beginning.
Yeah.
Because I feel like watching games with so much of it was like, oh yeah, I would love to just sit there and talk while the game's going on. And then kind of drifted and oh yeah, doing commentary on it's good, and then writing about it was a lot of fun, and then you just kind of keep
plugging away.
And
the profession finds you.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
Who's going to hire me to do something? And this place did, so that was cool.
That's a good. So from your freshman year, you were zeroed in on.
Oh, before that, middle school.
Really, middle school.
This is the only thing I wanted to do.
A lot of people go to college; they don't know what to major in.
Yeah,
I don't think I did.
I don't really feel for you because I feel like a lot of people don't have it figured out. So that's normal path.
I didn't know what I wanted to do. I kind of knew how to write and knew the language, and I thought that would be a good profession for me. But I didn't declare a major until junior year, maybe.
Yeah, I feel like that's normal.
Yeah.
Especially now. I mean, I think with Penn State, a lot of people do the 2+2, where they're at the satellite, then they come to main campus, and that's really when you get in your major.
Yeah, I knew I had to at that point work for the student paper, which was a good newspaper. The Daily Collegian was a good newspaper, and I figured I was going to get a primo beat, like basketball or something.
What'd you get?
Fencing. I got the fencing beat.
You guys good fencing program?
Tremendous.
Really?
All these rich kids from Long Island.
Ah.
They were great. They were like national contenders.
Really?
Oh yeah, they had all these dashing, and I used to go to their frat parties too, man. Oh, these dashing, handsome, well-bred fencers.
Were you allowed to accept a drink, or does that go against the ethical code of the beat writer?
No, I didn't adhere to any code back then. No code. They had the best frat parties. It's the Mike Missanelli Show. It is 1 o'clock, and you're listening to WPEN HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. It's funny about that. When I remember, I was so disappointed. I go, fencing. And then I really got into it because I started to learn about a new sport and I learned about the culture and how these guys grow up as fencers. You know, they join fencing clubs when they're younger and they master it.
That was the way I wish I had gotten with crew and rowing down here with the regatta and all that. Like, I got to interview a few people from like that team, for the coaches from that team, like at the end of my Temple time. And had I really done it at the beginning, I think I would have went all in on just finding out the most I could about that sport because it fascinates me. The regatta fascinates me.
Yeah.
Aside from when it crushes my commute home, like what feels like once every month, there feels like there's a race down there that ends up detouring me back away from where I want to drive.
Yeah, I hear you. You know, you learn to talk in a different language when you're covering fencing. Like basketball, you got the terms that are common, but fencing, you got to kind of jazz it up and you got to write about their lives and stuff. Do you know what the three parts of fencing are? There's 3 styles of fencing. You know what they are?
Is there epi that has to do with it?
Epi is one of them.
Epi's one of them. Oh crap.
Foil.
The foil.
And that's a lighter, more flexible sword and a smaller target area. Epi is a heavier, stronger sword and a larger target area. And then there is saber.
Saber.
It's a cutting weapon.
Like a lightsaber.
Allows fencers to score points with either the tip or the blade. Fast, aggressive attacks.
The more you know.
There you go. That's our fencing lesson for today that nobody cares about. 610-632-0975. Let's go back to the text board. We got a lot of texts coming in today about this Philly situation. What do we have?
All right, some more lineups for you. Joe in Boston, Schwarber, Turner, Harper, Castellanos, Stott, Bohm, Kepler, JT, Rojas.
Okay. Now, they were very successful with Schwarber as their leadoff hitter. The reason for the change was to protect Harper. Should we forget about this now? Should we go back to Schwarber? They were very successful with him as the leadoff. Winning percentage was high. Should we go back to it?
I just want to see the extended run of Turner there.
You want Turner as your leadoff hitter?
We haven't gotten a chance to see the extended run of Turner do it. They bailed on it last year, and this year we've only seen it in a platoon role here where they go Stott most of the time because they mostly see righties. Let me see Turner do it every day for like a month, and then give me the chance to go back to Schwarber.
All right. I got a feeling Rob Thompson's going to go back to Schwarber as the leadoff hitter. I think he goes back to what feels more comfortable.
I wouldn't be surprised. I think we're going to have a mini revolt here in the city if that happens because I feel like people were so sick of it. But I wouldn't be surprised if they do that.
All right. Well, tonight you got Joe Ross against Bailey Falter. Bailey Falter, I swear to God, when he releases the ball, you can actually make a turkey sandwich, put the mayonnaise on it, lettuce, tomato, come back to your seat, and the ball hasn't arrived yet.
You could actually grow the tomato in that time. You're going to get your garden done in the time that Falter throws the first pitch.
He's in the stretch. Oh, time for a sandwich. And it's a strike.
You could drive across the state, get to Pittsburgh, and the first pitch will have landed in the catcher's mitt.
Come on, man. Don't subject me to this tonight. Is there a movie I can go see?
I'm telling you, man.
Is there a big movie that's opening tonight?
We're going to have you try country music tonight.
Yeah, I can't do the country.
All right, what's in the movie theater
What's
tonight?
the movie? What's the hot movies that are opening this weekend?
All right, movie theater, Philadelphia.
What do you got?
Let's see what we got here. They're taking me to an AMC. I just want to see showtimes. You know what we need? We need the movie phone. We need to make a call.
Movie phone.
All right, Lilo.
1-800-MOVIE phone.
Oh, so there's that Karate Kid, the Legends.
I'm out.
Yeah. Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning.
You know what? I wait for that to come on TV, but that might be exciting to see.
It's a 2-hour and 49-minute film.
Man, really?
All right, what else we got? Dangerous Animals.
What?
I don't know.
Dangerous Animals? What is that?
Movie info. Let's see. When Zephyr, a savvy and free-spirited surfer, is abducted by a shark-obsessed serial killer and held captive on his boat, she must figure out how to escape before he carries out a ritualistic feeding to the sharks below.
Wow. That sounds like a horror movie.
It's a horror movie for sure. I'm out on that.
All right, what else you got?
All right, that's good. Come on. I want showtimes. This actually would be better just to call the movie phone than this. This is terrible. Final Destination Bloodlines. I don't know what that is. Bring Her Back. Thunderbolts. Sinners. Everyone's talking about that Sinners movie.
Yeah, everybody is talking about that.
Yeah, go see Sinners.
Is that worthy? Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
I can't sit there and watch a ball game tonight. I really can't. Sorry, I can't do it. It's a Friday. Yeah.
Yeah, go watch Sinners.
I gotta figure out something.
Or I'm sure that there'll be reruns of good movies somewhere there, and you don't even have to go to the theater. Just sit at home, make yourself that sandwich.
Yeah. I haven't been to a movie theater in a long time. Might be a good idea.
I haven't either. I was talking to my roommate about that. I want to go again because I feel like I haven't been since
Mission
pre-pandemic.
Impossible probably is a good movie to see in a theater.
Yeah, I bet with the surround sound and all that, gives you a nice little atmosphere.
Maybe I'll go see Tommy Cruise.
Why not?
Yeah. All right, 610-632-0975. On the other side, Dan Campbell. Well, it's a shame Bill's not here because we have a Dan Campbell story. What did he say? Give me a hint.
Oh, he's talking about the center that retired.
So we have sound on this?
Oh, we do.
Oh, we have Dan Campbell sound.
Frank Ragnow.
And also, we have not talked yet about the Pittsburgh Steelers signing Aaron Rodgers. Do we like that? I love it. I love it.
Hey, they're going to go
as the Steeler quarterback. I love it.
9-8 in a whole new way this year.
You think so?
Yeah.
You don't think he'll lift them up?
We had this conversation in August about him lifting up the Jets.
So Mason Rudolph takes a back seat.
Yeah. That's
Poor
a shame.
kid. I know. He's my type of guy. 610-632-0975. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
We want to hear from
Love to chat for the last 40 minutes of this program. Or else you're going to hear me read stories from, bizarre stories like the story about the hooker who got beheaded in Tuscany.
What?
Yeah.
610-633.
It's a tragic story. I don't want to laugh at it, but the hooker spent a night with a guy, and he refused to pay her. Guess what the price was?
Is it more or less than...
I don't know what this guy got out of the deal, but this seems like a pretty high price to me. $11,000?
Wow. Holy smokes.
So he decided that he would kill her instead.
A lot in that story to digest.
Yeah,
Most of it, all of it, not good.
$11,000.
$11,000
something.
Yeah, well, that's not good. Bad.
No. Bad. Anyway. Dan Campbell. Let's get back to Dan Campbell. All right, so Dan Campbell, he has a center who retired. Amon-Ra St. Brown has had knee surgery. Maybe there's a little attrition coming to the Detroit Lions. But Bill's favorite coach, Dan Campbell, who's actually done less promos for the Lions than Bill has done for this particular radio station. Bill in one day has out-promoed Dan Campbell, who's been the coach of the Lions for 5 years. But let's hear what Dan Campbell had to say about his squad.
Start with Frank, man. Frank's been unbelievable teammate, football player, man of the community. Man, he's done it all, and he would be sorely missed, man. One of the greatest memories I have of Frank was divisional against Tampa Bay, 4th and 1. We run downhill to Craig Reynolds, man, and he's got big boy. And he hits him, and he kind of hits the knee, and then he has to get back up and tie up the block. We score, man. It was huge, this type of player he was. So he'll be missed.
With how emotional he sounds.
Was emotional. Like he was ready to cry.
It sounds like he's eulogizing the guy.
Yeah. Have you never noticed when people say, like, they always use the adjective sorely missed? Sorely missed.
Yes.
It's going to be sorely missed.
Sorely missed.
There's no other word that people use when they talk about when they precede the word missed. Have you noticed that?
Do you think we could make dearly?
Dearly missed?
Dearly
yeah, but
missed?
it's always sorely
Always
missed.
sorely. I just, the way he was talking there, like, Frank Ragnow decided it's done. I'm done. I'm retiring.
Yeah.
He talks about it in the, I guess the past tense works because he's no longer a member of the team. But
Very emotional man, that Dan Campbell.
I know. He's crying over a guy retiring.
I don't know. I kind of like it.
You like it?
Yeah.
A little much.
Kind of like it. No, he cares about his people.
He does care about his people.
He cares about his people.
So much good.
So does that guy.
Right.
And I think if he was crying that, we would probably be sitting here like, dude,
he's done enough other stuff that we go, he's over the top.
Right.
But Dan Campbell's over the top. There's no question about it. But I think it works somehow with his guys. I don't know what it is, but it works.
Might work.
It's not going to work for forever, but I think it works temporarily.
It just sounded like I watched the clip just to see what he had to say about it. Late off-season retirement. They were already reworking some stuff on the offensive line. Now losing this, I think that's a problem for them to address. So that's tough for them. But to hear him talk about it, it literally sounded like he was eulogizing him.
Yeah, it did.
It was a little strange.
I'm telling you, I don't mind it. I know Dan by now. He's my man.
I know he's your guy.
He's my guy because he's he's not Bill's guy.
Right.
That's why he's my guy.
Which has always made it interesting. The dynamic. Yeah. The anti.
Bill, let's face it. Bill had his things that really got under our skin.
Yeah. Well, he also the Dan Campbell love got under his skin.
Yeah.
I am still, for the Eagles' sake, it worked out, so I'm very happy about that. But I really felt that we were building all football season to the ultimate Campbell-Sirianni matchup. And some would say that Bill actually is ducking the Eagles-Lions conversation this year by no longer being a member of the show. He doesn't want to have to deal with because I think he did pick the Lions to beat the Eagles, and that was one of the last takes he delivered with us with regard to the Lions-Eagles.
That is correct.
He's going to duck the Campbell-Sirianni situation.
Well, maybe we can record another promo where he actually admits that he's ducking. Bill Collarule here. Don't forget to tune in to Unfiltered, where I am not going to talk about Dan Campbell anymore.
I would imagine he's going to talk about it because he's going to break out
But
the
it's going
impression.
to be real exciting sports talk, reality sports talk. I'm just busting his chops, right? You know me.
Yeah, I know you.
I'm just busting his chops. Okay, let's get to the phones where Jim in Bethlehem's checking in about Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, it's been an underplayed story today. Jim, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Jim?
Hey, Mike.
What's up, Jimmy?
Guys?
How you doing?
I'm doing great. Yeah, it's a little hot here, but it's good hearing you both on. I know there's some changes going on, and you guys are great. No worries. So,
thanks, buddy.
Aaron Rodgers, I think the Steelers are really treading water and just wasting time. I mean, he's definitely not somebody I would invest in if they're not talented enough to.
Yeah, but if you're them, can you do any worse than Aaron Rodgers? I mean, really. I mean, it's going to excite the fan base. I don't know how he's going to play. He's older now, but they don't have any on. Would you rather go into a season with Mason Rudolph or Randolph? Or
well, I think that gets to the core of it. They've been kind of trying different things over the last couple of years, and they're not sticking with nothing. And
but this is a one-year contract, Jim. 1 year deal.
Yeah, I know. So that's just my thought. I don't really. I think I have live just outside of Bethlehem, and
you're a Steeler fan.
Steelers fans and Giants fans here. What's that?
You're a Steeler fan?
No.
Oh, you're not.
I'm not a Steelers fan. I'm a diehard Eagles fan.
Oh, okay.
They live here, and they're all they're like Dallas fans. They come out when the Steelers.
Yeah. What is this dynamic in Bethlehem? Because you're right, there are some Giants fans, and I can see the proximity. But the Steeler fan, why is there a Steeler fan in Bethlehem?
There's a few folks I think that have lived in that area and have come here, but I think part of it was, back in the day, the Eagles just were suffering, and the Steelers were real good and won some Super Bowls.
Uh-huh.
But it's just like the Dallas fans; they're here when you see the flags come out when the Steelers are winning.
For some reason, though, and I've talked to some people up that way, they feel some kind of geographical connection to this. Like they somehow feel that Pittsburgh is in the vicinity like Philadelphia is, so they flock to the western part of the state. I never got that.
No, I never get it either because it's about as far as driving to Virginia Beach from where I live. So
yeah.
Can I say another thing?
Sure.
Saquon, you were talking the other day about. He's he's all over the place.
Is he overexposed? The question, yeah, is he overexposed?
It seems that way almost. I was so I watched him play at Whitehall. I live just about 7-8 miles from that stadium, and I didn't really know he was as good as he was, with the Eagles last year, and but he's on everything. I don't even know what he was on something this morning. It's like. No, he was on with Michael Strahan. They were pitching something.
Oh, really? Yeah, he's.
Yeah. So,
I always listen. Saquon obviously is superhuman, and who am I to say he's not going to have as good a year? But I think when it always seems like when you go overboard to do stuff off the field, somehow that catches up with you on the field. I hope it doesn't happen to him, but he is really way out there right now.
He's way out there. Plus, the use and the carries and everything like that could be,
Yeah, I hear you. There's that statistic. That statistic when you have 400 plus, the next year you don't come back very well. And I always think of Cole Hamels when Cole Hamels had that great year and he came back and then he did so many things off the field that he just wasn't prepared mentally or physically.
No, because you have that short the Super Bowl takes you so long, and you only have a short time to get ready for the next year. And
I hear you.
I mean, he was a horse last year. He was
the telltale sign is the Cure Auto commercial. He's the latest Cure Auto guy, right?
Yeah.
Where they've gone? Who's the first Cure Auto guy?
Oh man, going all the way back.
Yeah, you got to go all the way back, and there's the line of succession for the Cure Auto guys. Schwarber got a piece of that. Maxey got a piece of that.
At least it's starting to get good. Not the acting. The acting's never gotten good, but the quality of player.
Yeah,
they've attracted a better quality of player.
They definitely have.
Yeah.
These insurance companies spend a lot of money, which makes me feel pretty rotten about my insurance bill. They spend a lot of money. Who they charge?
You.
Me. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Bills dropped the series. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies lost 9-1 to the Blue Jays yesterday, dropping 2-3 north of the border. Jesus Luzardo followed up a historically bad start with another historically bad start. He's allowed 20 runs in his last 5 2/3 innings pitch. His ERA has leapt from 2.15 to 4.46. The Phillies are off to Pittsburgh for a 3-game set this weekend to try and get right. They'll start Joe Ross in a bullpen game tonight against former Philly Bailey Falter. First pitch at 6:40 out there at PNC Park. MLB.com's Todd Zalecki joined us earlier on in the show to talk about everything going on with the Phillies. You catch that conversation on our website one more time at 975thefanatic.com. Yesterday was the final practice of OTAs for the Eagles. They will have one mandatory minicamp practice next Tuesday before the team disperses until training camp. In other NFL news, Aaron Rodgers told the Steelers he's coming to town, so Rodgers will be the quarterback for Pittsburgh this upcoming season. And in the NBA Finals last night, Tyrese Halliburton with a game-winning jumper to lift the Pacers over the Thunder out there in OKC in Game 1. This update's brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. The Mercedes-Benz Dream Days are back with offers on vehicles like the 2025 E-Class, CLE Coupe, C-Class, and EQE sedan. Hurry it now through July 31st. Learn more at MBUSA.com/dream. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the NBA Finals, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Show on a Friday. Whatever your weekend plans are, I hope they're fruitful. You're going down to the beach. June's a good month to go down to the beach. I don't know about the weather, though. It hasn't been really springy. Warm today, though. Is it going to rain again this weekend? Supposed
Feels
to rain
like it will.
tomorrow?
I think tomorrow, yes, it is supposed to rain.
Rain tomorrow, huh? Okay. In any event, very interesting story about Mike Trout. Mike Trout, big Eagle fan, right? So he wrote on his bat knob, Eagles 40, Chiefs 22, fly, Eagles fly. Now, bat knob's not big, so he did this in kind of tiny marker. Eagles 40, Chiefs 22. Well, they cut the bat knob off, and they photographed it and made it part of a collector card, the Topps collector's cards, bat knob cards, which present a rare piece of unique MLB memorabilia. How about that?
It's the only postseason success it seems like he's ever going to celebrate. With all due respect.
Yeah, Pokemon. They're doing it with Pokemon and the whole bit. So there you go. I didn't know this. The bat handle and the bat knob is now featured on cards.
Yeah, I think there's a Harper one too.
There is. R.I.P. The Rip Harambe bat.
Yes.
The gorilla.
Which
R.I.P. Harambe. Harambe.
It's okay. 9 years ago
the
at this
gorilla,
point.
right? It's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who was Harambe again?
It was the Cincinnati Zoo gorilla.
Oh, was
where
the
kid
oldest
fell
one?
in and they killed the gorilla to protect the kid. Yeah, it was a whole thing. Whole thing. Yeah, I think they have a statue now out at the Cincinnati Zoo of Harambe.
Oh, now are these just the photos of the bat knob, or are they actually part?
I
of the
think they're
bat
the
knob?
actual bat knob.
It is the actual bat knob.
I believe that's the case.
How do they pack that?
Do not know. Maybe it's a real thin slice, a real thin cut of it. You know, you think about you're going to the grocery store and you ask for that thinly sliced salami. I think that's what you're looking for.
I guess you got to break the bat before they cut off the knob if it's a gamer, right?
Right. Or if you know that it's going to sell well, maybe they give you a nice little cut.
Yeah.
You know? Well, hey, yeah, we'll take that knob from
I just saw Bill walk by again. He's recording another promo, maybe.
He might be.
This is unbelievable.
I know.
I've never in my life heard as many promos.
He's here. He's around.
All right. So the Cure Auto guy. Remember Nick Foles did one.
He did?
Yes, Nick Foles did one.
Man, who haven't they had do these commercials?
Schwarber and then Saquon and Maxey and one that I forgot about. This guy was very shy, and I can't believe that they got him to do a commercial. And I can't even remember how he performed in this commercial. But I believe Darren Sproles had he had a stuttering problem as well when he played here, right?
He did. It's why he didn't want to talk a lot. He didn't talk a ton of the media.
That's correct. That's what he said. But they were able to record a commercial. Let's hear the Darren Sproles Cure commercial.
Hell of a game, Darren. Would you say those linebackers are the best you've ever seen?
I don't know about that, but I do know who has the best coverage.
Who? New York? Dallas?
No, Cure Auto Insurance. I finally found a coverage I couldn't beat.
You don't have to be a Pro Bowl player to get the best coverage.
He pulled it off with the canned laughter. You gotta love the audience members that are asking the questions. They're like probably local actors that get a gig, right?
I want to be in one. Yeah. I want to be in one. Can I play the journalist?
No, you can record a commercial. It has to be sanctioned by your acting card, I think.
I want to play the journalist.
Yeah, you have to be a member of what is it? It's AFTRA. What's the Movie Actors Guild?
Whatever it is.
Screen Actors Guild. SAG.
SAG?
Yeah, you have to be a SAG member.
All right, well, I'm going to go become a SAG member, and all I want to do is, who's the best coverage you've ever seen? Is it New York? Washington?
Let's listen to the question again. Let's see how good of an actress she was. Let's listen to it. Here we go. Darren!
Pick me!
Hell of a game, Darren.
Hell of a game.
Would you say those linebackers are the best you've ever seen?
I don't know about that, but I do know who has the best coverage.
Who? New York? Dallas?
No, Cure Auto Insurance.
That's great acting right there. I bet you she was key in her High School Musical, Valley High, or something. Oklahoma. Oh, Oklahoma, where the girls are whipping down the plains. Was that your school play, Oklahoma?
I don't think we did Oklahoma.
No?
I don't know. I wasn't a member of it. If you couldn't.
Oh, you
that.
weren't?
No.
No, you're not even a member of the crew?
No.
Yeah?
No, I wasn't. I went and watched
anything?
one. I went to sport one.
Did you?
Yeah.
I think Bill said he was in one, wasn't he?
Was he?
Yeah.
Really?
I think he was in one.
It doesn't strike me as the.
You know what he said in his first line? Hey, everybody, Bill Colarulo. It's going to be in Westchester. B, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. B.
Yo, Muggy Miss.
What's up, B? How you doing?
We're hanging in there on a Friday. The question I have is, when is the Bill Colarulo Pure Auto Insurance commercial?
Well, that's got to be next. That's got to be next. He's like a rocket ship right now, man. 25 promos. We counted 25.
Oh man, I remember Mike Vick is as far back as I go, which means we're talking like 15 plus years probably of these commercials.
Mike Vick had one
remember
too.
That? You remember? Yeah, that's the first one I remember was Mike Vick. I don't know if I don't remember.
You might be right. You might be right. I tried to do some research on how many Philadelphia athletes have done these, but I remember Darren Sproles. I had forgotten about Darren Sproles. I just looked it up and said Darren Sproles. I said, "Wow, that's interesting."
Yeah, that's a bust out.
It is. It is a bust out.
No, but that was he did a promo for this the Aloft Hotel.
Oh, he used to call it the A-Loft. Yeah, he called it the A-Loft. I did a show with Michael Vick at the A-Loft.
Oh, that was good time.
Yeah.
The golden era of the Mike Vick.
Me and Mike Vick sat side by side, did a show at the A-Loft. I could do it. It's the Aloft.
Were you
No, it's the A-Loft, he said. What?
But were you calling it Aloft, or were you going?
No, I was calling it Aloft, and he kept saying A-Loft. And during the commercial, I said to him, I said, I think it's a loft. He goes, no, it's a loft. I go, okay. I said, okay, it's your world. Well, whatever.
That's great. That was one of my favorite seasons, by the way, that 2010 Eagles season when he came in there, by the way.
Yeah, it was fun for a while.
Yeah, but...
All right, talk to me about the Phillies. Talk to me about the Phillies. Trading their prospects. Now here's... But hold up, B. Here is the premise. If you don't make a trade to add either a right-handed stick and or a bullpen guy, you can't win.
I think even if you do make the trade, you like, who's out there that's really putting them over the hump? I don't see that. I see another. It's just like last year. It's an Austin Hayes, Carlos Estevez type thing, and I don't think that's enough for this squad.
Well, you never know. But see, here's the thing. If you have a car and you're in a race, right, you're going to put in the highest octane gas, or you're going to put in 89. In other words, you got to give your engine the best petrol to win. Now, you might not win the race because somebody else will outdrive you. You know what I'm saying? But you need the petrol.
Yeah, but the guy that's picking the gas station, Dombrowski, he might be taking me to the knockoff to the Bobo gas station.
It doesn't matter. Octane is octane, whether you go Bobo or not.
You might be right, man. I hope. I'm not ready to hit the panic button, but I've had enough of the Weston Wilson on the mound, the silliness.
Yeah.
And which, by the way, why... There's no other guy at the back of the bullpen they could just throw out.
No, it's a disgrace that they do it. It's a disgrace that anybody does. So I'll rip Thompson that you throw Weston Wilson. You embarrass the game when you do that. It's too bad that you've run out of pitchers. But throw somebody in there who's actually a pitcher and don't make a mockery of the game. I hate it when people do that, and Thompson does that a lot.
Yeah, I don't like it. He's even on the mound with a goofy smirk. Nobody's taking it seriously.
Yeah, it's a joke, man. You don't make the game a joke. Put a pitcher in the game and bite the bullet.
I'd rather see a net Brewers loss than never getting smoked at home. You're better off throwing a Phillies fanatic on the mound. Give the kids something to cheer about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would have been something else, huh? Fanatic. Throwing silly balls. Blowing his little tongue.
How many strikes? The Fanatic from the mound. How many strikes in 20 pitches?
The Fanatic wouldn't find the strike zone from the rubber. He would have to throw from the rubber. The Fanatic is a short tosser.
That's what I'm saying. Then you open up the Fanatic to get crushed.
Yeah, he would walk the bases loaded.
Yeah.
610-632-0975. You want to climb in. This is a late Friday afternoon. We'd love to hear from you. The YouTube chat is saying Ray has a movie phone voice.
Apparently so.
Welcome to Movie Phone.
Hello. Welcome to Movie Phone.
Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Andrew Salciunas.
The reason why I say we haven't.
You know who I forgot? One of those Philly athletes that did the Pure commercial? Hockey player, right? A flyer. Who was the flyer that did the Cure Auto commercial?
Did they get Giroux?
No.
Not current?
No. Hard-hitting winger.
Wayne Simmons?
Yes! Wayne Simmons.
I'm a hockey hard over here.
Was a Cure Auto pitchman. You remember the Wayne Simmons one?
Well, once you said hard-hitting winger, that was, I do remember, I think he did one.
He did one.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
I would love to, the rankings of all the Cure Auto spokespeople that they've had throughout the years. Like, who was the most random they got?
Everybody they got was popular at the time. Like, I don't remember an unpopular guy. They hit it at the right time, the Cure Auto people.
I guess, yeah, because it was a different company that did Matty Car Shields. I forget what Veerling had.
Veerling had one?
Veerling had,
what did he have?
I forget.
He had a car dealership?
Maybe it was a car dealer. Well, Matt Veerling, because he says the line, I know a thing or two about game-winning hits, and it was just funny that
really?
Of all the guys on that team, Matt Veerling
got a commercial. Oh, my God.
Matt Veerling. It was literally Car Shield. It was literally Car Shield.
What, Car Shield?
Car Shield, yeah.
All right, we're going to get back to my texts here. Twitter account. Philly writes in. This is more than just a bump. Let's be serious. They are a playoff contender as of now, but not a championship contender. Maybe they get a run at best, but the odds are they won't. They are what they are, what you see. 2/3 of the outfield sucks. Got 4 hitters in the lineup. The rest are mid to suck. Most starters are good so far. The defense is mid. Aside from Stott and Realmuto, the pen is mid to erratic. Playoff contender is not a series contender. I think their defense is better than this guy gives them credit for.
They're high on this team's defense.
Everybody's down on Turner, I get it, but their outfield defense has been pretty good. And Bohm has been a really good third baseman. He doesn't get the credit he deserves, I don't think. He's flexible down there, man.
Maybe not. Maybe there's the preconceived notion on what he was because of how much of a butcher he was when he began.
What has he been over the last couple of years? He's been pretty good. He's made a lot of interesting plays to his backhand side, to the charge side. I always thought he could be a good third baseman because he's fairly athletic in his movements down there. Not stiff.
Yeah, only two errors so far this season.
Yeah,
so
there you go. That's pretty good. He gets a lot of chances. But the Phillies, listen, let's stack up the problems right now. Bullpen, offense, Luzardo, 16 and 18 against teams 500 or better. What is this team really? And right now, I think if you're honest with yourself, they're a good team. They're in the playoff run. They're certainly a wild card playoff team. But can they go any further than that with those kind of flaws, especially the bullpen and a lack of offense in a couple of positions in the outfield? Let's go to Kalai King checking in with us on this beautiful day. Kalai, what's up, buddy? Kalai, are you there? Again, I can't push him. I'm frozen here, Ray.
I think TJ still talked to it back.
Oh, TJ still talking?
Looks like he's still going.
Oh, okay. I put him up. I thought he was ready to go.
I'll take you through a very extreme texter here.
All right, go ahead.
Why isn't anyone calling for Caleb Cotham's job? The bullpen implodes on the daily, and now our 2 best pitchers are leaking oil. Thompson should put his foot down and make positional changes. JT to first, Trey to center, Bryce to right, Cassidy to left, Sosa in for Trey. Done deal. Better hitting team. Put your Canadian foot down.
Wait, JT at first?
At first.
Who's your catcher?
Marchand, I guess.
Come on, man. Can't make Marchand an everyday catcher.
What
else did he have in that lineup? JT at first. Who else?
JT to first, Trey to center, Bryce to right, Cassidy to left, Sosa in for Trey.
And Stop plays shortstop?
I guess he moves Sosa
and Sosa plays second?
As he says,
or Sosa plays shortstop?
Sosa in for Trey. So I'm trying
Sosa's
to
playing shortstop as an everyday player.
That appears to be the
case. JT is an everyday first baseman. Marchand is your everyday catcher. Trey Turner's your everyday center fielder.
So to give you this is Tony from Willow Grove. Tony from Willow Grove starting 9 here. At catcher, Rafael Marchand. At first base, JT Realmuto. Second base, Bryson Stott. Shortstop, Edmundo Sosa. Third base, Alec Boehm. Left fielder, Nick Castellanos. Center fielder, Trey Turner. And right fielder, Bryce Harper. And Caleb Cotham is no longer employed.
on paper, it sounds like fantasy. You're playing fantasy baseball.
Yeah, I have MLB 2K. I could fire that up and move it around.
Listen, that on and say you go, man, that's a pretty good lineup. You got you're condensing your hitters and you're looking at your outfield now with the offense. The outfield's going to produce with Harper and Turner in center field. It sounds good, doesn't it? Except you can't do that to Turner, and you can't do it to Harper either.
Yeah, the JT at first is.
That doesn't work.
What a corner infield right there of light hitting guys. Alec Boatman, JT. I think both their OPSs are under 700.
Yeah, that doesn't work with Marchand's your everyday catcher. But I appreciate the thought process. We have Kalai back? Yes, we do. Kalai, what's happening? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, Mikey?
Good. How you doing?
How you been?
Good.
So yeah, I heard your. I checked in when I heard about your the thing with the blonde girl and the Cure Auto commercial, right?
Cure Auto commercial, yes.
So I'm in that commercial.
You're in? You're out? Really?
I'm in. Well, I'm in the. I turned the Saquon Barkley down because I did the Maxi commercial.
You did?
I'm sitting next to her in the Maxi commercial.
Oh man, I can put a face to the name here.
And there's a reason why I chose my seat. They let us in. I got called personally by the director to do the commercial. I'm an actor. Sorry about that. But they said, hey, can you be there in about an hour and a half in Jersey?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. And bring wardrobe. So I got my hair cut, wore a suit, and I was an interviewer. And all the seats were empty except for her and another guy. They were the two who got the lines in the Maxi commercial. Turns out they were part of the production company. They weren't exactly cast. I mean, they weren't bad. They were nice people. But we were cast to actually say lines.
You're a SAG member, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be a SAG member to be chosen. So how did they put the production people in there without the SAG people getting crazy?
You know, I'm not asking questions.
Okay.
But what I did know was my mom taught me from the film world industry and the theater industry, Hollywood, what she taught me, find the best seat in the house. So I sat right next to the prettiest blonde girl who was sitting in the front row.
And you know she was going to get
FaceTime.
So you were sharp. So did you have a line in any of these commercials?
Yeah, and
you
it got cut. That's why I did not do the Saquon Barkley.
What was your line?
It was, I got a question for you, and then I was going to get cut off. And he was awesome, by the way. Maxie was funny. He was very kind to all of us in the downtime.
How long did that take to shoot?
About 5 hours.
Oh, my God.
About 5 hours.
5 hours to shoot that with like 3 lines?
And I asked him a question. Yeah, and
Are you kidding me?
He threw out a thing. He's like, what do you guys want to talk about? I was like, I want to ask about the bus. And he's like, the bus. And I'm like, yeah, is it a VW bus or is it like a giant bus? His teammate, the bus. And he just started laughing.
That's awesome. So wait a minute. You're telling me that these athletes sit there for 5 hours to get that commercial done?
Well, he was there for maybe about 2 of the 5 hours.
2 hours. So he gets his stuff in there, and then everybody else just, they work it.
You know the business, Mikey.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah, they can't keep
business.
an athlete there for 5 hours to do a commercial.
No, he was there for about 2.
All right.
But he did a great job.
Clyde, I'm going to look for you now. So you weren't in the Sproles one. We played the Sproles one with the lady who...
No, I'm not in that one.
You're not in that one. You're in the Maxi one. You're in the Maxi one, and you don't have a line in that.
I'm directly to the right, sitting right next to the blonde in the front row.
I'm going to look that up right now. I'm going to look that up.
Yeah, that's me.
All right, man. Now I know who you are. You're a big star.
Shut up.
All right, Clyde. Good talking to you.
Take care.
There you go. So there you go. My man's in the commercial. 5 hours, right? What do you think of that?
Yeah, maybe my acting desire has gone away. 5 hours sitting there.
5
asking
hours.
Those
You know
questions.
you get a bit roll. You probably make 3 cents in that, but it's a gig you can book and put on your reel, as they say.
Yeah, I mean he's visible in it.
You see Kalai?
I assume this is what Kalai looks like. I've never met Kalai. So
let me
Kalai
see.
described where he was to the right of the blonde that asked the question.
Yes. All right.
I'm
looking at this right now.
Could be Kalai.
Okay.
Could also not be Kalai.
Here it is. Yeah.
It's the second
Well, that's
question.
the best covered. Who? Oh, there he is.
There he is.
Who? All right, I see Kalai.
Yeah.
All right, I got him.
Kalai.
Yeah, but he didn't answer the question.
No, he got cut for time.
But he sat next to the prettiest blonde because he knew she was going to get some time.
That's usually my strategy at the bar.
Is it really? That's good work by you, Ray.
Thanks. Happy
Anyway,
Friday.
did we settle anything today about the Philadelphia Phillies? We didn't, did we?
Doesn't seem like it. No.
No.
Seems like the city's just really down on them. As well.
Yeah, but not many people had any suggestions on how to. I think that game yesterday really took that was like an arrow to the buttocks for a lot of Philly fans.
We didn't get the yes, they're absolutely World Series contender call from the fans.
Yeah, nobody is saying that now.
And the
Nobody's
text.
saying that. They're a playoff team, but they're going to fall short. And that's a terrible thing, man. To have it's June. And to have people like that reality has hit them. So there's going to have to be some kind of mix-up here. They're going to have to do something to give this fan base a little more hope than they have right now.
And looking at the schedule coming up, this weekend's not going to inspire hope for people. They lose one game this weekend, people are going to be livid.
Yeah, they can't lose to the Pirates.
What it is we're going to be back Monday, and they start a 3-game set with the Cubs.
Do they get Skeens in this series?
I believe Sunday they do.
They get Sunday Skeens. All right. And then you got the Cubs. Oof. They're playing really well. All right, anyway. Thanks for listening, everybody. We really appreciate it. Don't forget, Monday is the big debut with Bill and Ricky. It's called Unfiltered. I don't think I've heard that in any of the commercials. So that'll be fun. Have a great weekend, everybody. Talk to you next week.